This time on Ben 10 Omniverse, the worst version of Ultimate Alien, we had a relatively speaking chiller session. You headed back. You talked to Delilah in the morning. Delilah said, "Damn, I've gotta help you guys out." Pardon me. No, Delilah effectively listened to your plight as to what had been going on in the town of Dury and decided that her place of living is more important than her job. Something we all wish to tell Mr. Bezos ourselves. And said, fuck it,
11-hour
I'll help
shifts
you.
this week. Let's go. I'm in hell. I'm sorry I killed him. Hello?
Did they cut out?
Can you guys hear Lunar?
Nah, he's not talking.
We cannot.
He fucked up his mic by being on push to mute.
What are you on push to?
Typical. I thought I fucking killed the both of you by bringing up my
No.
shift. Like, it was just so unimaginable.
So,
Whoa.
He is
Very
inside
muffled.
of a very deep well.
Oh no. Hello.
Oh, wait.
He's climbing back up. He's got the rope in his hands. He's climbing as we speak.
Does it sound better?
Yes.
Better, but not where you were originally before you.
A little
petered
quiet.
Piss. Okay, is this better?
out. A little more.
I was trying to, but
all right.
see.
So,
Anya appears to have reinstalled and it did nothing.
Wow.
I will have to sort it after the session then. If someone wants to say that they can join Brazil and I'll drag them in, fine, but I will sort it out after the session. I don't have the time to right now. So, without further ado, she said, I'll help you. But I'll do this discreetly. Guys, go about your business. I'll look for a job for you guys in the morning so we get them off your trail. Who's they? Who knows? You guys went out. You went to buy potions. Buy potions indeed. And you bought several experimental ones from Mag, who gave you several oddities in terms of potion ingredients. A Mimic's Anus was the main one that seemed to draw a lot of attention, along with some others.
Wasn't really attention.
There's nothing wrong with a Mimic's Anus. The Dung Eater has shown us that.
Everything wrong with that.
The Dung Eater is a bad guy.
What? No.
Loathsome dung eater!
The crazed caca consumer is not a good person.
I have
What
no
are you
idea
talking
what you're
about?
talking about.
I'll show you the video later.
Dung Eater.
Effectively what they're
The only
saying.
guy I know is the Dung Defender, and he's pretty swell.
So, regardless of the matter,
Get Anya in here.
you bought your potions. You went to sleep. Oh, okay. You bought your potions. You went to sleep. And in the morning, you went to see Delilah, said, hey, how's it going? Where's our job? And inside was not Delilah. It was a man.
A short man.
Short man named Peter with a Y.
Where's the Y? I don't know.
George R. R. Martin,
Why?
thank you very much for your weird
It's
naming
like a
conventions.
tier.
I know his
Tier.
real name is
That's the
Lunar.
thing. Hmm?
I know his real name is Lunar.
No.
Short guy named Peter? Yeah.
I'm gonna incinerate you for mocking my height. How dare you?
No. So, he said, if you go to the town of Adenti, northward, about a week's journey, with it being paid for, give you several objectives, which the DM is going to read out, because the DM forgot. You gained 500 gold upon acceptance. The DM does not remember if that was each, or if it was...
it
I
was a
elect
group?
for each.
Hang on.
I believe it was each. I think that was mentioned
was-
specifically.
So the total was 2,500 now, 100, 1,500 later. That's the total.
You fucking cheating scumbags.
What?
Motherfuckers.
Huh?
500 gold total. Yeah, no, it was 500 gold total because it was 100 gold each.
That was the down payment.
Yeah, that's the down payment.
Yeah.
It was not 500 each. I would
1,500.
not give you 500 each at level 4.
But you should.
I should.
You should.
I
It'd
shouldn't.
be
Don't
fun.
take advantage of my compromise.
Yeah,
list.
yeah, we were each given 10 platinum.
Yeah, it was platinum.
Yeah.
Yeah, you Austin, add that by the way to your sheet. 10 platinum. Please also change your name before I accidentally call you Spore. Thank you for the sound effect. That's very cool. So he said if you go north to Town of Identity, it's there that their warlord, Vangear, has been killed by a ship's crew. That a ship they captured named the Silence that was owned by Cerenthus' family. What the fuck? Now,
And then my deception proficiency came into use. I love when that happens.
your objectives. I'm going to take a moment to remember them.
I can.
I have them written
Please.
down.
So, we have several objectives. The main ones are to figure out a couple of questions. First off, who killed Vangear?
Vangear, yes.
Vangear. Warlord Vangear. That is not how you spell his name. Why is that written down in my notes like that? It's written down like
Vangeese.
gear, like in like a cog.
Ah, Gears of War. I hate that
Yes.
series.
Anyways, what is
I
the ship
love
still
the
doing
military
there?
industrial complex.
Indeed. Anyways, if they actually, killed the guy, what is the ship still doing there? And also potentially to scout out new warlords or warlord potentials I have.
Warlord
written down.
personalities, warlord
Yes.
influencers.
Now the optional stuff is where we get the fun
Influencer.
things. Loot, obviously, which no, that's for us to keep. And also destroy the granaries of potential warlord replacements. They're not even trying to do a metaphor. Literally destroy their granary.
And so, just so I have this clear, Delilah is just replaced.
Allegedly sick with dancing fever.
I'm
which
terribly
is
sorry,
An
I
actual
should've-
thing.
I should have said that. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit scatterbrained today. Yeah. So when Anya dragged himself there.
Why?
I don't know. I put them back. Um.
I have reached computer.
Oh, okay. I don't know why you dragged yourself there for a second. It was scary. So,
I didn't. I
um,
can't see it on my computer either, so I had to go there.
Holy shit. Okay, this might be an account issue. Oh my god.
I'll make a new campaign VC chat tomorrow. Okay, a session VC tomorrow. I'll see if you can see it.
I'd probably solve the problem.
I probably would solve the problem. But regardless, so effectively, when they went to the office, the guy behind it, Peter, said that Delilah was sick with something called dancing fever. She'd called in for the day, effectively, and he was covering. And most likely, they'd be dealing with her when they got back, but maybe him.
Okay, so she was unpersoned. Got it. And now
We don't know.
Maybe.
she is
When we
absolutely
tried
not
inside-
alive anymore, or she's in
Yeah,
a
she's
box
very,
and
very
put
dead.
deep
Pretty
and very
sure.
far away.
I'm
They put her in
pretty
deep
sure she is
storage,
a
bro.
box. Yeah.
And now we're
she's
just
collecting
accepting
mold.
this guy's whims, or was there no deliberation? Are
Oh,
we
there was absolutely like, is this guy on the level? Is he lying? We did some, insight checks,
We
and he
did
seemed to
some
be on the
insight
level.
checking,
No.
and he seemed to be legit.
So as
It's
far as we
obvious
know,
money straight
Okay,
up
so
is the
he's
thing.
he's a hapless peon. Got it.
Yeah. He seems.
We did
calm,
inside check
you know?
him, and I think we did. We
Yeah.
came back pretty empty.
Yeah, though that's the thing. I instant checked him, and apparently, yes, dancing fever is an actual thing. It's rather unpleasant, and it's like, yeah, the guy is apparently just actually telling the truth, which like, I'm still not sure if Delilah is gonna be alive when we come back.
Do you
but-
remember what you?
Super no.
Do you remember what you
Well,
got
it's not
on the
alive
inside?
now.
it was pretty good.
It was like around 20 something.
I got like a
It was pretty
20
satisfactory.
It was 20 plus.
Isn't ins-
I still
is the thing.
choose to believe that they possibly got a higher deception, but okay. I'll trust the friends.
Once again.
I mean,
that
regardless of
might be
whether
what
he's
it is, we
deceiving
don't
us,
know. This entire situation is still pretty suspicious, but like,
So,
yeah.
without further ado, are we ready to jump in?
Yep.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Again, I do apologize if this session I'm a little bit scatterbrained. I potentially may take some little more time to do stuff than usual, and if I cut out. But that's just the way it is this week because I am all over the place. But here we go. So we spent a week traveling. Now remember, in that thread, you could learn another skill, or I think I said just skill or tool proficiency from another player. Yeah, no languages this time because it was only a week. You could learn another skill or tool proficiency from another player. Just tell me who. So if you haven't done that, I would recommend doing that just while I'm setting the scene or in your own time.
1 week for a language is not enough, but it is absolutely enough to learn how to use thieves' tools.
Not professionally.
No, fuck no.
All right. So without further ado, we're gonna
Should
jump.
we like recap what each of us took for the proficiency week?
No, I can see it.
Okay.
Without further ado, then, write him. So last time we left off, we were traveling through the wilderness, and now we have reached over the course of a week-long journey. Whether or not you spent that in pleasant company or decided to be completely under the bitches to one another is up to you. Spitzer is noticeably mute for the day. It's his custom when he is vacant.
He's zoning the
But-
fuck out, and you respect.
Yes,
It's
but
the thing. Okay, sorry, technical issues, TM. But it's like occasionally you're not like Lunar's microphone will pick up where your microphone cuts off. Willow, it's the weirdest fucking thing I'm hearing.
What?
Also,
is
what
wild.
is the account issue? Because I'm seeing Lunar now. Lunar's not small guy.
Lunar can
Lunar
no
types
longer
a small
DM.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh, rip.
The ability to type has been taken away from me.
The ability
Um,
to play in this campaign was attempted to be struck from me, so I feel you. Discord is slowly trying to take
This
out.
week is not going well for anyone.
No.
Discord is slowly trying to take out the members of this campaign.
Hang on. Okay, let me try something real quick.
I will say, but in regards to my mic cutting out, you're just gonna have to remind me to repeat myself because that's just the internet today, and I am really sorry about that. It is weather a little bit shit. Yeah, I can kind of judge when my mic cuts out because the music cuts out for me, but we'll see. So, without further ado, then, last time you were traveling. This time we're here, and off in the distance, you do indeed see the town of Adenti. Town is a little bit too much on the small side. It's a large walled place. You see, there are several scattered buildings and neighborhoods is being rich here and there, but it is indeed a walled place. Larger stone walls that push it all the way to the coast, where you can see and probably assume that there is a couple of ports. And off to the eastward side is this larger, what looks to be a castle, set up just on a slight hill above everything else, where it kind of folds down into a valley almost. Now, as you approach, coming up one of the western paths, here and there you do see relatively peaceful life. People not really farming because it's snowy as fuck, but you do see that there looks to be two kids having a snowball fight, and one of them does in fact see all of you. Wait for my thing to come back. Does in fact see all of you, and looks just in time to get met with a snowball to the face. But as you move forwards, you're not at the gates. You're not at the gates yet. But you see, slammed into the ground is a wooden signage, rather large, with what looks to be the map of the town painted
Ooh.
in white, so the DM doesn't have
How
to keep pulling this up and
convenient.
can tell when he's not fucking talking.
Okay. Also, what software do you
I
use to
look
make
at
your
that.
maps? I have a question. What software do you use?
I will send it at the end of the session.
Okay, thank
I
you.
don't. Yeah. Now, map itself. You see that you were entering from what appears to be
Holy
Westgate.
shit, this is not a small town. This is not a
Very big.
town. This is a small city.
It's about the
It's not
size
really
of
a
Derry
city.
by the looks of it. Maybe even larger.
It's way larger than Derry. The buildings are like way more clustered together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to be blunt here. This does look pretty
Pass the
big, just
booth.
because the medium ones are a shit ton smaller. So it's not fully accurate, but it's the best I can get.
Yeah.
No, it's all good.
It was just an observation. I wasn't like complaining or anything.
Some of the city maps, they're fucking huge.
Oh
Okay,
god, the map of Nerevar haunts me.
Joffrey
Yeah.
just kind of works his jaw a little bit, going, ah, there we go. Finally got free of that Jolly Rancher. So what do we want to do first?
Only Jolly Ranchers your tongue, asshole.
I do that all the time.
Love
using
Jolly Ranchers.
fucking Jolly Rancher, my jaw shut. It's the best thing in the world. Anyway,
Me when I chew
it's
on
canon now.
lollipops.
Jolly Ranchers are real.
Cases are, who gives a fuck?
I want to canonize something too.
Taco Bell.
I'm thinking on it.
But nonetheless, as you enter,
Good.
as you enter in. Oh,
Holy shit!
Copyright claims. Here we
Oh
go.
my god.
We get like fucking flash mobbed as we jump in. What just happened?
scared the fuck out of me. Okay,
Dum.
it's only for like the intro tracks the bot actually fucks up and replace them.
Oh my
It
god.
scares the fuck out of me every time. I never expect it, even though it happens every week.
Wait,
I
hey, hold on. Is the Across the Spider-Verse track like embedded in the playlist you use? Is that what's going on?
in the first playlist, we skip playlist now. Right.
Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on
I,
there.
with
Regardless
all
of-
its faults, is still better.
Hey,
I miss her so much.
Miss Old Iode, I'm not going to
Yeah,
this new
no.
fucking
New Iode
coding.
is terrible. Like genuinely unusable for purpose.
I didn't fail Python to learn Iode, okay?
Literal Mandela catalog imposter iode.
Oh my god.
So,
Literally.
without further ado, as you enter inwards, moving through the now named West Gate, wow, it's more west-south,
Please.
southwest, Jesus Christ. Southwest.
Great
of
day,
me.
everybody.
Oh my god, I'm so fucking... I need this.
Yeah. This is gonna be fine. This is gonna go great.
Do see that the majority of the people here dressed in various kind of winter clothing and looks to be fishermen and farmers garb. The farmers is out of place until you see various livestock patches here and there. Every 10 seconds there's a pause because the music cuts out for me and I know I have to stop talking or else I won't be picked up.
Oh no.
All good.
I might have to actually switch to my phone.
Oh
God.
Which means Lunar can't type. But nonetheless, you see that various people here appear to be much more uplifted spirits. While Dury was pleasant, this appears to be more joyous. And you see now, hung from various buildings, are these hastily daubed like banners of Vangeir is dead.
Wow.
Appears the last one wasn't
Upset about
very.
it.
I don't think anyone is upset about it. No. As you move through, you have the town ahead of you. You can potentially go to one of the harbors where you last learned it, or to Castle Mortgain, which is presumably where Vangeir was.
As
Continue.
we're like heading into the town, as Sorrentha sees the banners, he's gonna kind of like frown, turn to the rest, and say, "Maybe I'm missing something."
Little
as
shitty
the bot
bot.
fucking leaves.
Hey,
Maybe
Zach.
I'm missing
Or like,
something.
ooh, sucks.
But... Anyways, but if the guy's dead, why are we in? And everyone seems happy about it. Everyone seems very satisfied by this outcome. Why are we trying to figure out who killed him? Especially given that this is not.
And I could also use a
Wonderful.
reminder, was the warlord implicated in the whole resurrection business, or the feeding the dead people business, or no?
Oh no, we brought it up to Delilah.
just
We
some guy.
we showed her the documents and all that. But
Yeah,
this
that's
is
why
a-
Delilah's
this-
dead.
Yeah.
That's why your mama dead.
not
You,
dead,
and I will
it's
say,
not
just
dead.
over the table.
Dead
it has been a
Lila.
little- yeah, it has been a little bit.
Delilah.
You were the reason why you were told to find out who killed him is because effectively you don't get to kill warlords unless Sidon tells you get to kill warlords.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
make a message.
We're police, which, ugh,
I
For
don't
now.
know if that.
me or Crow doesn't like that.
No,
It's
no,
like,
no,
oh.
no. We're private investigators. It's better this way.
They overtook a horrible dictator and killed him. Now we have to
Okay.
find out who did it.
Homies, I am terribly sorry. I know the quality of my thing's about to drop. I have to switch to my phone. It's cutting out every like 30 seconds.
Just do it.
Do
It shall be
Good.
fun.
I'll be right back.
So anyway, now that he's gone,
Yeah, My
your
campaign now.
No, fight me.
My
But you
campaign.
have
My
Thursday.
campaign. My campaign. My campaign.
You have Tuesday. You have so many.
I
Let me
I
have
have
will
Wednesday
proceed
and
to have
Saturday.
nothing, and you will love it.
I have DM'd nothing recently.
Oh my god.
Fucking Toby
God.
Maguire.
That is
Really
Tobey Maguire. I could not tell whose face that was.
I've got to be the small guy. I'm really sorry.
Oh god.
So yes, I know the quality has dropped significantly. I am sorry, but this is how it has to be. I'll be the small guy
It's
today.
Not actually that bad, as I realized that
it ain't bad.
apparently I did not mute small guy just yet. Can you rename
Anyway.
yourself? I don't like.
Anyway,
I'm just gonna call him small guy from now on.
so you do know that the ship, the Silence, is probably at either the Glass Harbor or the Shadow Harbor. It's up to you if you want to go to them. You can potentially go to Castle Mortgain, to Vangir's old place of residence, see if you can find anything there, or you could just traverse the town and potentially see if you can ask anyone anything.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Just as a
Yes.
reminder, were we told my memory seems to be telling me that we were told that someone on the ship killed Vangir? Am I
Yes.
correct in remembering that? Okay.
Someone on the ship killed him, supposedly.
Someone on the Silence.
I don't know who.
Supposedly.
Yes,
do
the
not
Silence.
know
I'll put
who.
that name in the chat real quick. Terribly sorry.
So
Yeah,
it's not
what are you
just
guys
like
doing? What would you
anyone
guys
in
like
this
to do?
town. It's presumably someone from the Silence,
Presumably so.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
potentially.
Given that the people are in open celebration, good chance they're hiding the person that killed him.
Yeah, with that, Srenthis is gonna like turn to them and say, "So, I'm not the best at this whole investigating business, but what the fuck are we checking out first?"
Oh no.
So many options.
There's also the possibility that we kind of just maybe fake results. I don't seem too upset that the guy's dead. Sorry. No one text me until I'm in a session.
Accidentally joined on my other account. Sorry, guys. Continue.
Jesus Christ.
No one
Today
seems-
is a session for technical issues.
Yes.
That is why I have set the
Session of
appropriate
scuff, the
status.
session of scuff. We must have one scuff session a month. It's law.
No, we are continuing.
Mentally, I'm scuffed. Please continue.
No one seems to
Anyways.
really. I severely doubt they'd be willing to give up this information. I am not going to be the one to rain on the evil dictator being dead parade. Oh,
Oh, that's
Just
better
a
never
warlord like
parade
anyone
to rain
else. Like any other warlord, perhaps. Don't know anything
Mhm.
about him. And it's not our concern anyway. We're here to do a job.
Get paid.
That's
I suppose.
indeed in gum.
If I
kind
may,
of feels. I don't know.
most people tend to loosen their lips a little bit when they're drinking.
Have they?
Potentially, we could wait for the. What time of day is it, DM?
I would say it's probably late morning.
Okay, gotcha. We could wait until a more appropriate hour, find a tavern, and poke around there. People generally are more inclined to give information in such situations.
I think one of the first things we could also do is just find out where we're staying. You know, I like to have a base of operations. We can start there and work our way out.
I don't think we're getting this done in a day. It's probably a good idea.
And we'll have to find a place to keep our horses as well. All 5 of them.
I frankly
Oh
would
shit,
like
I'm on
to-
a horse.
Wild, isn't it?
Oh, right, I
Yeah,
forgot
you
about
smoked a lot of weed last week.
The amber had
You
an
had
edible in
weed?
it.
Hey, man.
You-
Listen. The Tundra lands of
you
Skyrim
wouldn't
have some wild
share.
drugs.
That hard candy is more than just
Oh.
candy.
Sure it was. Sure it was.
So where are we going?
I think we're finding a place to stay and keep our
Place to stay?
horses.
Absolutely. It's easy enough to ask around for taverns and whatnot. Taverns with stables immediately narrows the list down. The closest one appears to be a tavern named the Bronze Lady. The next closest one appears to be potentially a competitive business, considering it is named the Bronze Bitch.
We've got to stay at the Bronze Bitch. That is one tavern
have
name I will
to.
never
Got to.
forget. Please, can we please?
Is
I've
there
seen
Now,
quite
any
a few
personally,
taverns
I'm
in
immediate
restaurants.
difference that I can discern between them?
They
Bronze
both
and
have
different.
stables. They're both taverns. They function as inns. Presumably, the Bronze Bitch is made out of spite.
I personally support spiteful small businesses,
Of course.
and it's a good name.
Spiteful
They've
economics is
got their
the best kind of
advertising.
economic.
They've got my coin. I'm going to start heading to the Bronze Bridge.
I agree.
Okay. So, as you head to the Bronze Bitch, as you arrive, it's a more wider than tall building. It's almost squat in nature, like a toad. You see that you did pass the Bronze Lady on the way. It was a very nice looking place for the area you're in. This, however, best way I can say it is like if the Bronze Lady is Metro Man, the Bronze Bitch is Titan.
Who?
I don't
I
like
see-
it
I
here
still
all of a
support this.
sudden.
I still support this.
You see that the
The
actual
comparison does not work for me. Elaborate.
don't worry about it.
You never seen
Mega
Mega Man? Megamind?
Mind.
What? Megamind?
Sid.
Yeah, Megamind.
Oh, I forgot about Megamind.
Now,
I'm sorry.
the actual painting on the front to symbolize where you are is this really badly like hand painted bug out eyes, like long rounded Stewie Family Guy head, with the Bronze Bitch kind of neatly written in cursive. The stables next to it are relatively large. There appears to be a stable boy who's kind of just like smoking on a pipe while also sleeping. So terrible habit to have in a place filled with hay. Younger looking half of the guy looks up. He's like, oh, you wanted in stables
Yes,
to
we
sleep in
are.
or for your horses?
For
Excuse
the
me,
horses
do
for now.
you
See the
have
prices inside and we'll
rooms in
talk.
stables?
I don't know. We get all sorts here, mate. You could be
Do you
sleeping
not
in the
offer
stables.
rooms?
We do offer rooms, yeah,
Exactly.
but the stables are
What
cheaper.
price? Exactly.
For the stables, it'll be 2 copper a night for the horse, individually. For you, a silver.
I must say, I've never been much of an arsonist, but I'm getting the urge all of a sudden. I don't know why.
It's perfectly fine. It is
What
a very
perfect fine?
powerful
Living in a
urge, though.
stable?
I know the urge.
Absolutely not. How much are your rooms?
I don't know. I'm not the the managerial position. I'm the
Yeah.
stable boy.
We
I
should
do
go
stable
talk
There's
to the
things.
a
manager.
strong
then.
urge to check out the Bronze Lady.
I also
Yes, they probably
second
have
this
better
urge.
customer service there.
Oh, I wouldn't go to the Bronze Lady, me.
And why is that?
Started as an offshoot of this years ago.
Oh, can we
Nasty
not
business.
get into the...
Jack. He's bullshitting. He's
It's
bullshitting.
ob-
He's
You
gotta
can
be
roll an inside
bullshitting.
check.
He's
I'm rolling inside.
probably paid to say it.
Probably.
Probably 22.
22. I need to roll something for him.
Yeah, it's a deception check.
Well, I didn't know if he was telling the truth or not. I hadn't decided. I never usually reveal that, but today I'm feeling out of it. He rolled poorly. What you can glean is presumably, as you had found out, he is just speaking falsehood. The Bronze Bitch is the offshoot, and from what little you've heard, it appears to be 2 Dragonborn brothers that had a falling out over a lover. and in response to one being successful with the bronze lady, one set up the bronze bitch out of spite and funds it. You glean this as you've been passing by, and funds it by actually being a rather successful. What's the word I'm looking for? Shipping sponsor. Does that make sense?
Oh, this is the side gig. We don't want to go to the side gig.
This is literally the side
I
gig.
mean-
He literally can. I will say this. I'll say this outright because I think it's kind of funny. He can't actually afford to run the place with its own revenue, so he has to supplement with his other gig.
You know, so he turns to go, maybe we do take our chances at the more established.
Respectable establishment.
Yeah.
I think I like
Maybe you do.
established establishment more.
Oh, I'd love to go to a respectable establishment.
That's a shame.
They don't even know
Goodbye.
my name here. You turn the horse to leave.
Yeah. I don't give a shit about this guy's life story.
No, it's fine. I was tempted for a second to have him like hurry alongside you to get to his other job as the stable boy of the bronze lady.
Honestly, I
Ugh.
respect that hustle.
Respect that.
2 day
Yeah.
jobs at the same time.
How is it going?
Oh.
Would you like to stay in the stables? No. So you do travel back about 2 minutes and come to the bronze lady. It is now, instead of wide, tall. It's about maybe 3 floors, which is impressive considering this town is mostly mud and spit. But nonetheless, the stables are to the left-hand side of it, and as you push through kind of the gates, there is another orcish man. And why did it appears to all of you that the popular habit for stable boys is smoking pipes?
Hmm.
So he kind of looks up, he's like, "Oh, hello."
Good day, sir.
Um,
We're looking for stables for our horses.
I mean,
sure.
for ourselves.
Right. Well, it'll be about a silver a night for your horse each, and
Right.
room for yourself. You have to ask inside.
I think that's doable.
Right, and do we pay separately for the stables and rooms?
You can pay all together. Well, no. Effectively, you want to leave your horses here. I can watch over them. You can just come back out, pay me once you've done your rooms. But we do take it separately. Yes.
Absolutely, I will give that. As I'm gonna hand him the within the week named Absinthe. I will never not name a horse.
Absinthe. Never tasted it.
Abby for short.
Abby. Looks at the midsection. I don't see no abs, but sure.
What does the horse
They're
look
hidden
like?
under a
My horse.
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 It's a horse. I don't know. Fucking pick yourself.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I generally don't know. It's a riding horse. Do whatever you like. It can be made out. It can have scales.
Order
We'll
to
let
Any
you
shoot.
know.
horse
Horse.
variety of horse.
Joffrey's gonna hand him 2 gold just to be safe. Just to be safe.
You get.
As you hand him 2 gold, he looks at you. He's just like, "All right. So you want to stay for 20 days?
I don't know how long we're
He's
going to be
paying
here.
all of our horses.
He's paying for all your horses.
But
Alright,
yeah,
that narrows it down a bit. That narrows it down a bit. Then, yeah. All right.
Thank you, Joffrey. That was really kind of you.
All your horses stay
Be
for 4
generous of you,
days.
Joffrey.
Got it.
Thank you.
Well,
Oh my
once she
God,
gets to the
I'm being
4th day,
complimented. This is strange. I don't like it.
once you get to the 4th day, please come back out and pay again, or pay me some time within those 4 days.
All right.
We will keep track.
Off you trot, and go set about your horses in the stalls.
We head inside, I suppose.
Yay.
Okay. Inside, there is several tables set around what looks to be a bar placed by the back wall. Off to the left-hand corner of the room, there is a staircase that leads up with it looks to be almost a clerk's desk behind that, or next to that rather. It's a warmly lit interior, and you do see that they do not skimp out on their naming convention, as there are various finishings and ribbons of bronze. And seated behind the clerk's desk is what looks to be a stressed out, middle-aged dragonborn who is bronze. 2 large horns that kind of curve off and back, and rather fine green clothing that is, you can tell by the age, not been repaired in a while, given the scuffs at the wrists and elbows. Looks up as you come in. Oh, hello.
So, we would
Day.
like some room, please.
Absolutely. So, room for all of you or individual
Depends. What are your rates?
rates? Well, if you want a room for all of you, obviously, cheaper. So that will be about 2 gold a night. If you want a room individually, it is 2 gold a night, but you're paying for your own individual rooms. So collective room, 2 gold. Individual room, 2 gold each.
Split the difference. Get 2 rooms.
Sure. 2 rooms doesn't sound that bad.
What? Hang on just a sec. As Saranthus puts down the bag and is going to pull out the harp case, as he said. I will say though, I've not.
I know this trick.
Right. Before this business venture continues, I do need to ask this question. Caution and the like, health and safety. You didn't come from, you didn't work for the Bronze Bitch at any time, did you? My
Absolutely
brother
not.
Roderick didn't send you here, did he?
No, we've.
Because that would be the 5th musician this week he sent to try and fuck me over, and it's getting really serious.
No.
I
We
must say,
just
Weird.
came into town.
Traveling through
from
the
the brief
area.
interaction we had with the sister establishment, they are quite repulsive.
Brothers.
Yes, he
Sure.
made it out of spite, and you'd look and you see where the Bronze Bitch's owner is now named Roderick. His little name tag at the side is Frederick. Rick and Rick, if you would.
No, I don't think I will.
Bronze Maiden Rick.
Now, yes, thankfully you're not then, because that would be the 5th musician, and I don't think I could take any more bard
No, I'm a
wannabes trying
freelancer.
to. Yes, that's what they all said as well. Sorry, so I'm assuming you're looking for reduced rates if you pay, or not pay, play.
It would be much appreciated, yes.
We can knock off 5 silver.
For each?
Roll a persuasion check. If you don't have proficiency, add your proficiency.
I do have. Wait, I think I do. I don't. Yeah, that's gonna be so. No, we still have proficiency of 2. This sucks. That's gonna be an 18 plus 5, 20.
This sucks. 23.
Awful. Just awful.
The worst.
Awful.
If you play, tell you
shit
what. You all pay full price for the night. If your play is good enough up to scratch, I'll knock you off everyone's rooms for the rest of your stay.
Oh, but we don't know if we'll be staying more than 2 nights. You may make it 1 night.
And the next night can have it all knocked off. But tonight, I'm sorry, I've had to deal with 4 people like you in this past week, and I've kind of reached my limit.
And
Well, they-
I've
Hang on.
fucking had it.
So they were all sent asking for room
Asking for
discounts,
reduced
posing
rates?
as traveling musicians.
Asking for well, they were traveling musicians. They just traveled from one street to the next.
it's a very short
I
travel,
like,
my
point
friend.
to all of himself and say, I think it's pretty clear to tell I am not from around.
No, I'm sure, but again, I think that's a pretty sound thing. If you stay longer than 2 nights, you've now got reduced rates. Tell you what, if your plan's good enough tonight, we'll just put it to a gold each.
Deal.
Hmm.
Fucking haggling over 5 silver.
I'm going to search a hand. Okay.
So
I am not a professional. I reach out a hand.
Shake your hand.
Money.
And then I
SpongeBob, me boy.
and then I do take out so it's 2 he said 2 gold for the
2
night.
gold each,
And
if you're
then-
getting individual rooms.
He is going to turn to the other and say, so with that, are we getting
10
individual
gold for the
rooms?"
lot of you, you rich bitches. That's
Yes.
1 platinum.
I don't
well, were we
have
going to get
that
just a
much.
couple rooms, or were we just? Or are we going to get individual
We
rooms?
can have a sleepover. Those are fun.
I'm gonna pay for extra rooms and not use them and have a sleepover with everyone else in one single. Fucking Christ.
I'll tell you
I
what,
mean,
for
no,
now, you're
okay,
too
hang on. So his option for group rooms was like 2 rooms?
No.
Wait.
So you can have one singular dorm room effectively
Uh-huh.
for 2 gold
Yeah.
for a lot of you.
Yeah, that's the one
Or-
I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah. Then it would be 2 gold in totality.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I slide him over 2 gold.
Right. That'll be room 16. Well, 8th on the left. Up the stairs.
No room keys?
No bitches.
Right. Room keys. I forgot. Pulls out room key. Slides across the desk. Now,
It's been a hard week from what I hear.
I want to say this. We do have a list of rules here that I do require you to follow, lest you be kicked out by Bill.
Oh god.
Oh,
And Joffrey does groan at the sound at the word rules.
I'm gonna nudge Joffrey, like, shut the fuck.
You keep nudging him and
Bill's
it
a bit
keeps
shy.
failing to work.
So who is Bill?
Oh, my days.
Is he your,
Bill.
you know,
And he's like, with every repetition of the word, just gets more and more hunched in on himself before he comes to signs. Right. Other thing, if you are in any way, shape, or form biased, prejudiced, or discriminatory towards oozes, this is not your place. Bill!
I love
And you hear kind of this wet shulking as
They-
what looks to be a purple ooze, like a cube of it, just pushes its way out of the kitchen door. Doesn't not dressed in any kitchen attire. Doesn't have any kitchen people in him. But you see, he has like a pseudopod kind of dangling down, with what looks to be a sheaf of parchment in one hand, or pseudopod, and the other is indeed a quill. This is Bill.
Oh
And
my
Bill,
goodness.
Bill's a pretty big boy. Bill is sitting pretty at probably like 7 to 8 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
Bill's
he's
a big boy. He's a big boy. But then as he exits the door, you kind of like look at him and it seems off, and he turns and you see why it seems off. Bill is not a cube. Bill is a cuboid. That's why he's tall. He's not wide or equal. He's tall.
Oh my goodness, he's adorable. Does he eat people?
Yes. Well,
Oh,
not so
that's
much
so
more
charming.
anymore. Now, list of rules is as follows, else Bill will kick you out. No arson. No clogging the toilet. If you clog it, clean it. No tearing the beds. No breaking the headboards. I had a really spiteful one once that did that. Above all else, no painting your room to suit your desires. If you are going to scream at night, please put a mattress by the door so it muffles the noise. And, above all else, do not bring donkeys into my establishment.
Well, there goes all my evening's plans, but I suppose we'll have to make do.
You mean, sorry, why donkeys, and are they allowed in the stable?
Allow
Just
the
out of
stable's just fine. Not in here.
Are horses allowed here?
No.
Well,
I
why
need
would
to
you
know
Then
bring-
you
Well,
should
these are
make
my-
a rule about that.
These are my golden.
Yes.
These are my golden rules. If you break them, Bill will have you out,
Well,
And we will
what
lose
if
our gold.
I think
someone
we can
accidentally-
manage that.
and you will indeed lose your gold. Yes.
No worries. We don't have any donkeys with us.
Are you sure? And he looks at Spicer for a second. I'm like, oh, never mind.
Racism.
excuse
I didn't see
me?
the tusks. I'm terribly sorry, man.
What?
Spicer is a lockstone. He has tusks. He saw a gray, tall figure and thought it was a donkey. And you realize why he thought it was a donkey. Or at least didn't think it was Spicer. He's not wearing his glasses right now that are dangling around his neck.
It would still be a great
Trent
blob,
can-
whatever.
It would be a great
Nod at
blob.
that, and is going to get the room key and say, "Well, thank you very much. It was 8th room to the left,
Room 16.
16.
Yes.
Lovely. Thank
Now,
you. thank
quick
you.
thing. If at any point in the night you see someone who looks pretty much like me by your window, ignore and shut the curtain.
Oh my god.
Is
Now we're
are
getting
they
into
really
it.
that spiteful?
Considering I fucked their boyfriend without knowing, yes.
Ah,
Because I might end up firebolting them. I'm not making promises.
Yes,
I
I
might-
will say, if I am
I know
awake
what you
and
will, but
see someone at the window, they are going to get hurt.
Well, we're
Yes.
outside of the council's area of laws, so as long as you fix what you break, I don't care.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Speaking of local customs, I couldn't have helped but notice quite a bit of a celebration going on.
Yes, Vangear is dead.
Oh
Oh,
my.
congrats.
Was
Ding
he-
dong, the witch is dead and all that.
Congrats.
We got
Any
that.
more sort of
He's a
information?
warlord, they're all bad.
Hmm.
Yes.
The two other, sorry, not polite to say in this company, the two other people who are vying for his position are no better.
Oh?
Ah. Who might
Oh,
those
they're
be?
not worse.
It depends on your definition of worse.
Hmm.
Vangear was a spiteful, egotistical little man who lived on a big hill in a big castle. The other two are that way, but only on the inside. You have Helena, who is a complete and utter maniacal.
Bitch.
Yes.
Undercut.
And you have Hanzu, who is a scheming, maniacal. Yeah.
Bitch.
What was the name
Gotcha.
of the other one?
Helena and Hanzu. I'll put the names in the chat.
Hanzo or Hanzu?
Hanzu.
Han. Zoo.
You don't win this time, Overwatch.
you don't say it.
Really?
Don't say it.
If you give me a person named Hanzo, I will kill him. Just out of
That is not
self-spite.
how you
Hanzu, not Hanzo.
I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it written out.
I
wildly
saw
This
the
is
two
Marathon
O's
all over
instead of
again.
you. Damn.
Don't. I didn't fucking realize that was a place in Elder Scrolls. I just thought it was a cool name I came up with.
Anywho,
Anyway, he
Anyway.
looks at you and says, "Yes. So if you see a half-elven woman with a shock of white hair holding court amongst her enraptured followers, or a similar such thing with a small, little, puny Goliath man, avoid them."
and they're
I
spiteful,
see.
egotistical people who live on big hills. That's the sort of people we need to avoid.
Not really big hills, more so that their
Big hills of the
their
soul.
arrogance it lives on a big hill.
Hmm.
They themselves live in a very small ditch.
So,
Slowly
if I
looks
may
at
ask,
Joffrey. Okay.
if I may ask, tourist curiosity, and all that, what happened to the other warlord?
Supposedly, he decided to. Bugger it, no point being polite. Supposedly, he decided to chat shit to one of the crew members on some ship he captured. They stabbed him, he fell overboard and drowned. Who'd have thought a Triton
Oh.
could drown? Not me, but. Guess
Well,
that's
if
what
they're
happened
not
when you get your
breathing.
throat slit. Well, I think the apt description was less so a spur of the moment killing and more of an execution. If I remember correctly, they poured candle wax into his gills and then slit his throat.
Ah,
Oh, that is
smart way to do that. Hold on.
gnarly.
Gnarly and unpleasant sounding, but that is a very smart way to do that.
Ooh.
And he's talking with this very disturbing, brutal act of murder with like, oh, like the kids went to school today, I
Jesus.
overthrew a government, and I washed the dishes. Today's been a good day.
God.
I don't think Crow recognizes it because Crow is taking it the same way. Oh yeah, they poured
Can I
wax
ask
in his
a
throat.
world question? Does this sort
Absolutely.
of thing happen often? Is it like, yep, another warlord got overthrown. Now we just gotta wait around to figure out who the next one is, or is this like?
No. The main
No.
reason why that you can kind of judge the importance of you being sent up here, aside from wanting to quell the new potential warlords and burn the granaries, was because this kind of stuff isn't a common occurrence. Usually, a warlord will live and rule until it comes to a point where Sidon, who for the past couple of decades deems them weak or insufficient, and disposes of them. By and large, it doesn't really, and there is not really so much that you guys have perceived, but it is decent enough to pick up on that most of these warlords do present, whether false or not, an image of power to be feared. So most people don't tend to actually fuck with them. That being said, those are clearly people who spend their whole lives in the Minnesota coast. People from down south, like this ship crew, potentially have no idea what they actually did by causing this power vacuum.
Support this, no.
So, how are they going to go about choosing a new guy to live in the big house?
Most likely they'll walk up to the big house, say it's theirs, and after a week or two, once one person's left standing, Sidon will come along and crown them warlord.
Or kill them.
Or kill
How
them,
long ago
yes.
did this
and there's
happen?
2 weeks now.
Okay.
Ship's
Any
still here,
moves?
which is the bitch of it. Any moves? What do you mean moves?
In the big house.
Anything we need to be aware of? If there are two people vying over a big house on a big hill, maybe know if we should avoid some areas.
Problem areas where we most definitely should not and will not be going.
Things get loud out here.
Yes, we understand we shouldn't talk
What's
to the
all your
two.
interest in this aside from personal safety? It's not
just
often that you
asked
get
because
tourists who, no
There's
offense,
a warlord that's dead, and I'm fascinated by stuff like that.
We're
I
real
must admit.
gluttons for politics.
Politics, punishment.
with that being
Justice.
said then,
I like a good story.
I do too.
I'm gonna get fucked for this. Right, Bill, go back to the kitchen.
Promise?
That's
So,
right, he was
I am
still
Will,
there.
that's-
Bill.
right, if you want
Hi, Bill.
areas to avoid, Shadow Harbor, avoid air quotes. It does do air quotes. I'd accidentally did the voice for air quotes.
Yeah,
Me
it
when
just
I
says
say air quotes.
Sorrenthus nods to
The
him.
Shadow Harbor is where the ship is. Old Adenti is where Hanzu likes to skulk around. And Oak End is where Helena likes to make her business. Castle Mortgain is obvious. And above all else, stick away from the coastline.
What's bad
Why's
about the
that?
coastline?
Well, tourists obviously can come and go, but most people that live here have lived under Vangir's law of you leave, you die. And most people try to escape by sea. Unfortunately, well, deep water spirits don't tend to like people intruding on their domain, which is where this place is built. So if you go to the coast, good chance you'll, well, either drown or be torn apart, who's to say?
We'll be
Gotcha.
sure to stay out of that area.
Of course.
Appreciate the information.
Well, with that being
We'll
said,
come down for a drink
there's-
later.
right.
Yes, and is there a preferred hour where you get, a lot of people in here?
Oh, we'll be seeing the dinner rush and, well, sorry, I forget for different places. We'll be seeing the lunch rush in
Call it what it is. It's a dinner
2
rush.
hours or so. I mean, lunch rush, dinner rush, tea rush, who gives a fuck?
True.
Much.
So about
Isn't it?
at what hour?
About an hour or two, yes. But there's also nights where it does get rowdy. And there is, of course, the late hours of the morning where, well, early hours of the morning, late hours of the night, where most people want to hear a sad song about the person who dumped them for a bronze dragonborn. Not me, of
Really
course.
that common of an occurrence?
Who's to say?
Who is to say?
Bill will see you to your rooms.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
Bill kind of shulks up, goes to the staircase, slowly turns, and says, "If you'll follow me." And you see where Bill is speaking from.
Oh. Hi, Bill.
There's a partially dissolved skull kind of jutting out of the left breast area now. Not titty, left breast, left pec.
Sorry.
The city has a skull.
I'm
got it.
sorry.
Why
You
did
had
I
the,
clarify? That made it worse.
You should have.
There's a partially dissolved skull that is speaking out of the left titty and the left titty alone. 3 tits, that's awesome. If
Oh
you
my
follow
God,
me,
it's Total
I'll
Recall.
be showing you to your rooms.
Lead the way.
Yes, of course. As I follow.
Climbing upstairs.
Oh, he's so adorable.
Love him very much.
Is he leaving a sludge trail behind
No.
him? Okay, good. Thank God.
No, he's not.
Most oozes don't actually leave sludge trails.
You never
Is
know.
it weird that I'm tempted to see how fast you could eat a rat?
I
Do you
think
have
it would
a
just
rat
dissolve,
to
no?
feed him?
I'm not allowed to
I-
eat rats.
Oh, what are you allowed to eat?
Yep.
Dust.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a
that's
shame.
terribly disappointing.
I have a good berry somewhere in here.
I've got some dried fish on me.
No,
if you'd like some.
I'm only allowed to eat dust. I am a cleaner. I am paid for my job. Dust.
Because if I gave you a good berry, you wouldn't be hungry for any more dust. So.
I'm not hungry for dust.
But are you hungry? Oh, sweet
I grow up and not
gelatinous.
out.
Well,
I'm
consider
going to
this
find this cube of rat.
tip. Consider this a tip for your lovely assistants, as I'm going to
No,
carefully
no,
reach
no.
out and place
No,
some dried fish
can't-
on top of
don't
Okay,
be
him.
careful with your hands.
Can we please give it consent? Can we respect the consent of this clearly sentient creature and
Yeah,
not
no,
force
fine.
feed it?
Fine.
As you go to like place
No,
it,
if
like
he
pull
actively
pull
moves
back for
away,
a
I'm
second.
going to
Pull back
stop.
for a
No,
second.
it's
He
fine.
clarifies. He clarifies. Don't do that. There's a chance that I splash, and then we'll be paying fees for you. That's what I've been told.
Money? I love money. Put it in.
I think he means funeral fee.
Yeah.
With
I think I'm going to go to our room. Thank you very much.
He does indeed lead you
sorry.
down a hallway of nearly identical doors before you get to room 16, which it appears that someone has graffitied slightly that you can see presumably Bill, as the janitor, has been trying to clean. At the base of the door, there appears to be a sigil, like hastily painted on, which is really kind of weird to place a sigil at like the bottom of the door and not at the top. Of what it looks to be a painted white fist in between a white ring around it, bordering it effectively. To those of you who are common travelers, you would know this as the symbol of the Pugilist Corps, a bandit group that have made a bit of a name for themselves and are militaristic assholes. If you want an example of what I mean in terms of real world stuff, imagine like people that have been indoctrinated to the military by Michael Bay's Transformer movies.
Oh no!
God.
Microwave Bay has done it again.
Bro just
But
rolls his eyes and goes inside.
it's like, and I will leave you here, and chokes away.
Hey, Bill.
Bye.
I swear,
Bye.
before we leave, I'm going to toss that lovely gelatinous cube of rat. I just want to see what happens.
I'm going to kill you.
You can try.
No, he
Happened
said he
to
didn't want
respecting
to.
the consent of the thing. He didn't want the extra food. Yeah, go. We shouldn't try to force it.
That was over the table, Phineas.
Yeah, that was over the table. Joffrey's a shithead.
But
Besides, I haven't
regardless, no,
actually
if
attempted
it
to do
doesn't
anything.
If it doesn't want it, that's fair. I suppose. How is the? I opened the door. How's the room look? How's it look? Is it in good
So
condition?
the room itself is all large, looks to be almost queen size single beds. That you see, two of which have canopies around them. The rest, unfortunately, haven't, and you see why. The remains of their canopies are in the corner, presumably like waiting to be discarded. There's a large kind of what looks to be bearskin rug in the center of the room. The type of bear is an oddity. Imagine marbled rye bread in terms of the composition of its fur. It looks beautiful, but where the fuck did they get that?
So when this is beelining to one of the canopy beds.
Yes, Sam. Yes, Sam. Yes, Sam. Yes, Sam.
And there is what appears to be beneath one of the beds, and the 6 beds in here, the far left one, is a simple wooden sign, and you see beneath that points downward with some text on it. As you move over to it, beneath the bed is a small basin of like that's the width of the length of the bed and the width of it, maybe like 4 inches deep. The sign reads, "Where the wetters go."
Oh God.
Presumably, if you're a grung or a lowcather, you could sleep in there.
You want to make a place more accessible.
Oh
You
my
put a
God.
Or if you wet the bed, I guess.
Potentially, there's several like desk side drawers and mugs and what appears to be like a pitcher of a juice of some kind. And there is
Ooh.
even what looks to be an ensuite bathroom. But you know, it's presumably this way for this specific room because you are sharing amongst a lot of people. But yeah, it's a relatively nice room, all things speaking. Much better than what you probably would have gotten at the Bronze Bitch.
We do
Nice.
gotta give
Or
it the
maybe
old
we
once over to make
misjudged
sure
it.
that
Everything about
Yeah.
this establishment is so charming, I must say.
we do have to give it the
Yes,
old once
it's,
over to make sure our darling previous residents didn't leave anything. Just, you know,
Oh yes, we should check.
make sure.
But all things considered, this is one of the nicest places I've stayed on. Bitter.
He appears to put quite a bit of effort into his actual establishment. Which is a
Good on him.
shame that a
Such a
lot of people appear to like
reasonable-
wreck his shit.
That's why the boyfriend left the other guy. This guy cares.
This guy fucks.
And cares.
He does aftercare. That's why.
Yeah, that's why everybody, ladies want him, men want him, everyone wants him.
But fish fear him.
But
No,
fish
No,
still
don't
fear
fear
him.
him. Fish are more than welcome in this establishment. They got little.
That's why
fucking
they throw the
face.
coffee here. Fish fear him.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
what
We
do you guys
look
like to do?
around for like if there were any other items left behind by previous tenants.
Certainly, roll me an investigation check because
God.
in general places, no, there isn't anything, but potentially it could be like loose floorboards,
Yeah.
things under the bed.
Phineas, you want to look with me?
Yes, I just got proficiency in this.
Yippee! Can I assist
I took it
Phineas,
in
or do you want
medicine.
both of us to roll?
Up to
I'll
either
give you
I don't
help
care.
because I took my proficiency in medicine on accident. So,
I get fuck it. So I just rolled a natural 20.
hell yeah. We find the deck of many things.
Please no.
Please, yes.
No. No.
Oh, also, ignore what I put in the VC chat. This is for a reminder for me for later.
I didn't see anything, so probably because I can't. I'm not technically in the VC according to Discord.
Just putting it in there for myself so I don't forget. So, what did you get?
Natural 20 for a total of 20.
Total of 20. Unfortunately, in the basin, you see what looks to be a really soggy. At one point, could have been a sandwich. And it appears like the last resident that stayed here didn't even want to like drag it out, and so built a little tiny little wall in this basin to keep it in like its own corner.
Oh my god.
Aside from that, underneath one loose floorboard, you find an actually kind of sad sight. There is a nicely bundled up, as you open it, cake. There appears to have been some for someone's birthday that they've only taken a slice out of.
Oh no.
And there's a little card that reads "Happy Birthday" to me.
Oh no.
Oh no!
How old does the cake look?
It's every teenage movie where the parents are dickbags and forget the birthday.
Yeah. And how does the cake look? A couple of days.
Eaten worse.
So,
Still
You
cake.
have birthday
Technically,
cake. You have a whole
probably
birthday cake. Yeah,
yes,
effectively.
It's still cake.
And aside from that, you also find what looks to be these two leather bracers that go over the top of these little bit dirty wrappings that do indeed carry that white fist and circle symbol of the pugilist corps. And with some remodeling, could look pretty good. And one more thing. Beneath one of the beds, it's not something you can drag out, but you see carved into it is what looks to be a diamond, and superimposed on that is a crown of some kind that is looks to be dripping some kind of liquid. Do you share your findings with everyone else?
Yeah. I would imagine like Phineas and Samantha are both like looking around. The cake gets placed on whatever table is available.
Oh.
as he finds a sandwich, he's gonna go over to one of the windows, look out. What is behind? What is beyond the window of this room, if there are any?
Street.
Street.
Throw it at a homeless man.
No,
Uh,
I'm not gonna do that. He's going to take the basin and could I like stealthily just tip the sandwich out? I don't want to touch that thing. I don't want to touch the wet sandwich. Like,
You can certainly, like, it's easy enough.
okay, yeah. So he kind of just looks in the basin, sighs, and then takes the basin, just carefully tips it out. And to any confusing looks, he kind of just says, "Sandwich." So he looks to the basin.
You point out the symbol.
Yes, and as he's effectively just lies down, just slides under the bed to check if there's anything there. He does call out for one. He says, there's a carving here. It's a little diamond thing with a crown.
Pardon?
It's a little diamond with a crown on it. Come look.
Yeah, I'll give it a lock.
He's gonna scoot to the side.
As you look at it, you can't quite tell what it is. Though, Joffrey, as you hear this say like carving of a crown on a diamond, dripping something, you recognize it. It is the symbol of the Carmine Crown, an organization that you have had dealings with in the past, the extent of which is obviously up to you to reveal to the rest of your companions, and I'll write the name in the chat. And Joffrey, I will say, if you would like, you can roll me, I would say, an Arcana check, double your proficiency bonus, if you'd like to see if you can potentially just remember anything about these specific symbols themselves.
That's not very good. Oh wait, double my proficiency?
Yeah, double your proficiency.
Plus 2.
That makes it a 12 plus 14 for a total of 26.
What's 14?
26.
I have a
Yeah,
plus
7
7
doubled.
to Arcana.
Plus proficiency. So double proficiency.
No, hang on. Double the
bonus.
proficiency, not the modifier.
Oh, piss.
Yeah,
It's okay.
so
It's not a high DC for you. Don't worry.
21 then.
21. Absolutely. These symbols are, to what you can remember, are carved in various spots all around Craquias'mar. Within them contain potentially messages that the Carmine Crown seek to leave another member that swings by, and only those that have actually had dealings with the Carmine Crown do know how to access them. Specifically, you must imbue it with a spark of arcane energy, typically done by expending a cantrip of some kind, with your middle finger pressed against the crown before pulling downwards, and you will hear the message. It's a method not widely known about, but you yourself know of it.
I'm just gonna look at it, go, I'm probably going to regret this, and I'm going to shocking grasp with middle finger, drag it down, hear a message.
Absolutely. So nothing damaging happens as you lean underneath the bed and like drag the middle finger down. There's just a slight like slide of lightning, just a little spark before withdrawing, and you're like, "Huh." You stand back up. Maybe it was a dud. Before you hear emanating from the crown symbol itself a strange kind of whispered voice, and unfortunately, I'm gonna have to leave it there for a second because I need to go take a piss.
Fucking piss boy.
Unbelievable.
Doesn't even keep a bottle.
The Amazon way.
Small
Oh,
guy,
boy.
small bladder. What are you gonna do?
Well, it was not a small.
I don't know if you saw my DM looter, but I'm sorry, there's gonna be some Pac-Man
What
jump
the fuck
scare.
are you on about? When?
You're-
Is this for what session is this for?
This one. I don't-
What?
There will be Pac-Man
What are you
music
talk-
jump scare very briefly.
Why?
I may have accidentally clicked on something Pac-Man related.
Oh my! Oh, in the recording. Okay. I
Oh.
thought you were like telling me in the session
No.
that like,
Oh.
this was going to happen. Like you had some sort of fucking premonition or some shit. Never mind. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, you've been warned.
Jesus. It also sucks because the only way I can respond is through emoji reactions. My existence is miserable.
I'm being prevented from taking part in sessions. I'm also in the
No, I'm
misery
being
train.
prevented from talking. As in, like, texting people.
Is it like even communicating in the servers?
No.
Is it
I
even like
literally
typing in
cannot-
servers?
I can't type at all. It will not send my message.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hope this
It's
gets
bad.
fixed soon because I have a lot of shit that I meant to text you about Nixian today, but I waited because I was like, okay, Luna's having issues.
Okay. It's once again
Hello.
one of those cases where, like, I can't respond, but I can still hear it out. DM is back.
DM
Oh,
is back.
Return from the war.
I am. So, sorry for leaving you off there. What you hear as you drag downwards and step back is this kind of raspy, almost not really sinister, but a voice that feels sinister to you. The words are spoken neutrally, though the incantation makes it sound almost as like a threat. And it continues. Child of magic, beware the earth. The primordials revenge, the fire shall birth. The dragon and crow break the cage, and death unleashed through the Emperor's rage.
Ours.
It's not hard to discern. It's a fucking prophecy.
Ah, fuck, we got prophesied.
Do I recognize the voice?
I would say, considering the like, it's been a bit, so I'd say roll me a history check.
You got it, boss.
DM, could we get the text for that in campaign VC?
Writing
Yes, I
it.
also need
please?
that. History. That is a motherfucking 22.
22.
Nice.
So, with a 22, it's an odd. So, the ones you interacted with had actual names, though there were several amongst them, usually hanging at the back in meetings and for lack of a better term, interviews on behalf of you that never seemed a part of the group. They seemed set apart from it, not as an outsider, but a superior. And they never used conventional names. The one of the very few things that is taboo in Craquias'mar is to, with any good sense, try and show praise to the primordials, these entities that came before the gods, and were by and large the cause of the fracturing of the Celestials and the Tarnished. But these lot, not that you particularly cared at the moment, I would say, did in fact refer to their superiors in the back with titles, names that were the primordials themselves. The one that this voice belongs to is someone called Melok. Now, historically, Melok was a water primordial that drowned the fledgling town of Talamern before it became the city of Talamern. And in response, Talamon, the deity, proceeded to rip out Melok's spine and lock Melok in a volcano.
You're fucked.
Skill issue. So they're titles in the Carmine Crown.
In the Carmine Crown, these are effectively titles, yes.
Ooh.
I just kind of... Joffrey just kind of, after hearing this, just kind of puts his fingers together, kind of wraps them a little bit. Would I know if the messages are replayable?
Typically, no. Effectively, once this message has been heard by the next one, and they don't tend to work with outsiders, but you did offer them a nice proposition, so you gain way into this. Once the message has been heard, effectively, it waits for a new recording. So by doing the recording, it's effectively the same thing of the similar motion, but you imbue the message this time.
Huh.
Uh,
I might leave.
Samantha's seeing
I might leave a crank call.
What? Oh god. Samantha's seeing Jeffrey do this is going to say, "What? Oh, what do you mean you're going to regret this later? What are you doing?"
Okay. So, like, there's no good way to start this conversation. Are you familiar
just start?
with an organization that is referred to as the Carmine Crown?
DM, am I?
Are we?
For the majority of you, oh my god. Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna have to actually add myself. So, hold on.
What?
I'm muting.
Oh my
Just
god,
one
there's
second.
2 of them now.
What the fuck? They're
to
multiplying.
to actually command Uzox with my laptop, I have to be joined. So we're just gonna leave Mimi in here. So to the majority of you, you have no idea what this Carmine Crown is. However, for Sorrentis, your family did refer to several trade deals with an organization known as the Crown. Now, when you were younger, potentially you were like, oh, that's another term for the council, until you learnt of the various laws, including the one where it is illegal to wear a crown in Nerevar
So fucking
by
stupid.
penalty of 3 months of jail time.
So
Joffrey had a
fucking
whole
stupid.
host of crowns that he kept secret. Nobody knows.
Oh yeah, no, it's a big thing. Like
The
have just
underground.
have
It's like
have block
prohibition in
parties
real
and just
life,
wear
but it's just
crowns the whole time.
crowns.
They can't arrest all of us.
It can.
But yeah, so you do know of potentially your family's deals with a organization known as the Crown, but potentially similar connections. But you've never been particularly inclined to know the business side of it.
Wouldn't say I'm familiar. Is anyone else?
Nope. That's consider that for all of you.
Asking.
No, I know. I'm
Like,
saying that
yeah.
in case I get asked that question again.
Doesn't ring a bell, I don't think. This is kind of out of my league, it sounds.
If Joffrey could sweat bullets. So,
It doesn't seem like that big a deal, to be honest.
They're
If this is
like
just randomly left here.
a shadowy criminal, fingers in every pie type organization. Big movers and shakers, in Craquias'mar, and, well, I might...
You owe them money.
No, it's far worse.
Did you steal their money?
In a manner of speaking, they...
Did you steal a body?
Here's the better question. What did you do?
I may have... You know when you lie on your resume?
No.
Okay, so I lied on my
kind of.
resume to say I was quite... a bit more of an accomplished necromancer than, admittedly, I really am, but...
Don't worry, bro. I'd done that before when I applied for like assistant teaching positions. Like, do you have this certificate? Nah, I don't. Please take
Are you
me.
saying that you've
Provided
raised
literally
numerous
every
bodies and
single
you're applying for a teacher position? What are you doing?
Well, they contacted me and asked if I was perhaps capable of raising undead in some significant quantities for them. And I'll admit, I agreed. However, I did vastly overestimate the oversight they would have over my operations. And
Did you not?
I
Sorry, I'll let you finish before I call you a moron.
I had hoped that perhaps I could learn on the job. This is not what happened, and Now I'm sort of, kind of on the run, which is why I came up here, hoping that their influence would be diminished, but it seems not, because they have left engraved a message that I just played that was hopefully not meant for me. It addresses a
What
child of
was
magic,
the-
but
You do magic.
I mean, but I'm more a
I do magic
scholar
too.
than a child of it, you know?
No. Did you not think that they would, like, notice when the dead that they asked to be raised wasn't raised?
As I said, I'd hoped that I would be able to get on-the-job experience. It turns out that raising the dead requires a fair bit more experience than I was prepared to gain in a short amount of time.
How experience works, yes.
See, that's why I went into the circus instead of academia.
They
Now
would
those
also,
guys teach on the job.
Please.
they were also hoping that I could do it in a way that wouldn't, bind them to me, because obviously the undead are for them. I couldn't do that either. More
So they were
putting the
also
cart
going to
before
kill
the
you once
horse,
they-
really.
So you
There's
lied
only-
on your resume and it ended badly. Big deal. What was the message?
Well, if you recall, I did say they were shadowy organizational movers and shakers, so they probably don't like the fact that, even as minimal as it is, as much as I knew that they wanted dead people raised, so they probably want my head. Probably.
I'll say there's one thing that's worse than wasting someone's money, and that's wasting someone's time.
And you somehow did both. And
But somehow it was not a difficult thing to do to waste the
in
time.
one swing, wasted both money and time.
In the wise words of Joffrey, it's not difficult to fuck up. It's difficult to hide it.
Exactly. So that's,
Joffrey,
so
I
that's
mean no
why I'm
offense
out
to
here.
your. Huh.
Hmm.
That does make us. Joffrey, I mean no insult to your intelligence, but that is the most incompetent chain of events I've seen anyone I've known orchestrate.
There is no string of words that you could say to
Some
me
of
that is
them
not
impressive.
on par or that could not be greater than what I've already said to myself. I am aware of the monumental fuck up I have done. I'm not
You realize that
exactly
once you were done raising that for them, they'd kill you, right? That's why they didn't want them bound to you.
Well, I had also hoped that that experience would be able to be transferred into some other magical abilities besides just raising the dead, and I was going to bind them to myself anyway. Obviously.
When was the last time you had any
You were going to cheat.
meaningful
Of
interactions
course
with them?
I was.
Going to cheat the very successful, succinct, shadowy criminal empire.
Well, at least I have
I-
multiple undead bodies between me and them when I was running away, instead of just me running away.
I mean,
I would like
the
to ask you a
undead that we
question.
fought in Dury did not seem that durable.
What's your question?
How much is the bounty on your head?
Oh gods, I have no idea. It can't be that high, though. I mean,
A very successful criminal organization, you'd be surprised.
for little old me, they could just get some any old vagabond, and out here, how many of those are there, really?
Really doubt if there is a
Plenty.
bounty that
Yeah.
it's worth it.
Just a quick question for you, Joffrey.
Hmm.
When is the last time you had any meaningful sightings or interactions with like this Carmine Crown?
Oh gods, it's been a while. Been on the run, moving north. It's the second I realized that their questions were going to start turning into threats for where their
Yeah.
corpses were. I just sort of
Are we talking months?
about. It takes you a while to
Okay.
travel a continent. As I mentioned, I originally hail from Nerevar. And they
Yeah.
came to me because I wasn't a part of any of the academia or any official mages guild. Because
I
I
wonder
was
why, Joffrey.
quite inexperienced. Um,
Susceptible to magical loan sharks. I wonder why they didn't take you.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That's why I'm asking how much the bounty is.
Joffrey has like the pursuer from Dark Souls 2 after him right now.
God.
What
But
does?
it should be fine. It should be fine. I mean, to be fair, I did just fuck up one of their messages. But it sounded really like a threatening prophecy from one of the. Oh, fun fact. Did you know
Wait,
that
it was a prophecy?
Oh yes, the Carmine Crown sometimes leave messages in the form their little symbol, like this one right over here. A little bit of magic, and you can listen to it. It only works once though, so if I tried it again, I'd look stupid. But it mentioned
And heaven forbid.
it mentioned that a child of magic should beware the earth, about the primordials' revenge, and 5 being birthed, and dragons and crows breaking some cage, and a really angry emperor.
Gamer rage.
But if I remember the voice correctly, it was the voice of Malak. Not the primordial mind. They use the primordial names as titles in the Carmine Crown. They're very fancy that way.
Blow up their own ass.
Of course, but
Yeah.
if you were
What's up?
that rich and that powerful, you would be too.
I'm sorry. For the past like 30 seconds, I've been snicking to myself because I'm imagining this voice like doing the fucking ninja copy pasta of like, my braless wife brings me a chip sandwich not asked for.
Oh my god.
Sorry. What's the question?
So just, one, Synth is gonna kind of like raise his hand and say, 1 second, is gonna like duck under the bed again, check the symbol. Have I like seen it on any paperwork, any deliveries?
This would be a
anything
very
like that?
high history check.
It's
With
fine.
your capabilities kept into account, but this will be very high.
Gotcha. I have +0 to history. Okay, 19. God, these dice rolls.
Okay, so
They're coming
you
for
have
you.
seen the symbol of the circling crown, never with blood dripping off of it. That's all you will glean. Because again, very high DC for if
Yeah.
you've seen it before. Anything more than that is like impossible.
But the overall shape of a diamond and a crown, does that seem familiar?
Yes, not crown and circle. Sorry, crown and diamond. Apologies.
Yeah, all good. And secondly, this also, I guess, feeds into this question: had I overheard any kind of organization the patterns had dealings with that used primordial titles
Nope.
as?
Nope.
Yeah, that's the long and short of it.
So, why did you assume this message is for you?
I didn't. I assumed it was for somebody else. It might. I'll admit, might have been for me, but I'm a wizard, not a sorcerer, not a child of magic, scholar of magic. I am not in the graces.
Mages are mages.
I'm not in the good graces of the organization, so the Crown probably didn't have one of their agents leave that for me. If they did, I would be riddled with anxiety, but I am incredibly confident that that was not left for me.
I highly doubt that was. That would mean that you're here and you were intended to stay here in this specific place. Too many things to keep account of.
Right.
I mean,
See?
Divinus,
Well,
there's
How about-
vast to say.
I'm just
We
going
can see
to
the future.
I'm just going to write down that prophecy-sounding message just in case it's
Probably
important for
smart.
later.
how
I
about
doubt
how about
it,
all
it's probably
this?
not. Probably
We-
just a bunch of threatening nonsense.
This sounds like something that is a little bit behind our friend. Let's keep an eye out, knowing that we may have some difficulties, but we should focus on the task at hand, get it done, and just get out.
I concur.
We can unpack this more later if you want.
Yeah.
Joffrey, you got any clothing with a hood?
I mean, I do have this, and he pulls out the robe that he was wearing that you first saw back all the way back at that town square meeting that doesn't really fit him properly. I stole it from an innkeeper.
Oh, lovely. That's going to work. If you go out in public, as in with any people you don't know, keep that thing covering your
He puts it on and just goes,
better safe.
I feel so clandestine right now.
Right. So, what are we doing about this whole thing?
Specifics, which thing?
Carmine,
There's
No,
a
not
lot of things.
Carmine, or whatever it is. The whole murder of the warlord thing.
Oh, well, we could be good and sort of report what we know to whatever his name is. I've already forgotten. Or we
Peter?
could.
Peter, yeah.
That's the one.
Peter Pan.
Or we could
Uh,
be
eh,
upstanding citizens and sort of handle the two next problems that seem to be lining themselves up to be problems for the little folk. The Helena and Hanzu.
what?
Hmm.
What do you mean? What? How? Why
Very
would we
good
get
shot.
involved? How would we get involved?
Oh, we're likely
Well,
already
because they
involved.
seem to be dicks, and we're are already involved. And well, if we, happen to, just destabilize their livelihoods,
Huh.
they probably are going to get the message of, hey, maybe don't try to vie for this position because it's not going to end well.
What's someone with
Or
all
alternatively, failing all of that, you can go burn down the bronze bitch.
We could always do that.
Right.
It would be
Been a
fun.
little
It's
on my
important.
mind.
That's a downtime activity, don't worry.
We
Yeah,
quite
we'll do it
literally
once we
know-
get everything else sorted.
we quite literally know the bare minimum about them, so that's going to
False.
be a
I'm gonna
lot.
say,
Yeah.
We know
I-
where to find them.
As of
We
20
know
we
minutes
how
should
they
ago.
try
look.
to find some of the answers to the questions that we've been sent here to learn
That was
and
what
make
I was hoping
judgment
would be our
calls from
priority.
there.
Oh, please, we have the answers. Who
We
killed the
need-
thingy warlord? The entire crew. Seems
know
to
the
have been a
answers,
corporate
or we
decision.
know how to get them.
Please,
I
Sorrenthus,
will.
can we actually investigate before we come to any assumptions?
I would
I
like to
mean,
say.
it's
uh,
pretty obvious what happened.
And they didn't send us
would-
all the way out here to come back and tell them answers they already know. They know he was
Yeah.
killed on the silence,
Without
but
data points, anyway.
I will say, in regards to going for something with regards to someone we don't know anything but the bare minimum about, prior to about 10 minutes ago, Joffrey, I knew the bare minimum about you. Now, evidently, hanging around you could be an active threat on my life. So do consider.
Well,
That
it is
before
your
we-
continued decision to
That's
hang
fair
around,
minimum
and
amount.
it is appreciated that you do so.
Hmm.
Are you being? I don't even. Can you roll a persuasion check for me to know? Like,
my
It's
God.
such a backhanded compliment. It's not even funny.
never
Anyone
mind.
with,
I
like-
would not be able to know. I rolled a natural one for myself for
Dude,
insight.
I rolled a hold on.
Anyone
What
with
is one of
any
the
like
most
passive
neurodivergent
perception
bitches
worth a
I've
shit.
seen in a
Oh, I rolled
D&D
I got
game
fi-
so
I-
far.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Never mind. I was just curious for myself. That was just like some things are for you guys in this campaign. Some things are just for me.
Yeah. Just for you.
like
Anyone
Bill.
with like any passive perception
Bill,
worth a
yeah.
damn at all sees that Phineas does have sort of like maybe it's resting, maybe it's not. Has his hand on his short sword. It's just at his
Oh.
hip.
This party barely has passive perception aside from Spicer and you.
I've got a respectable 14.
Solid.
Solid.
Yeah.
I've got 10.
This is another
12.
thing. Yeah, Steve, that's not respectable. I'm sorry.
You are entirely correct, friend Jeffrey.
But
It
just gonna
is
kind
a
of, sorry, not
conscious
Spicer.
choice
Ah,
going
I miss him.
Hey
Uh,
everybody, it's
so-
Spitzer.
Samantha's gonna like kind of frown and finish to say,
We could
regardless,
get
if
if
it
we could
becomes a
find
problem,
the
then we can sort it out.
if we can find the late warlord's body and we had a scroll to speak with dead, one of us might be able to cast
Do we have
it.
a scroll of that?
I'm sure there's somebody who would sell us a scroll of it. There has to.
In times like these, where the warlord is
This
just
might
recently
be-
dead, do you want to ask for speak with dead? The
we
times
don't-
where their warlord was just killed?
Who would give a shit?
People who don't like the warlord that was just killed that they'd be allowing us to speak to.
Okay, but
A little
most
bit.
shopkeepers don't give a fuck if you buy an oil lantern after an arson.
This is not buying an oil lantern after an arson. This is talking to the
It's a
dead
bit
after a notorious
more than
warlord was
that.
killed.
Also,
It's
I
hardly.
mean, this place does seem a bit more up and coming than Dury, but it is still a kind of backwater town in the middle of the Bittertoe coast. I don't think
I'll
we
say
just
this.
sell this shit.
I'll say this. If one of you can roll me a D100.
Oh, who wants to do it? I can.
Oh
do it.
yeah, divine intervention time.
Joffrey should do it. I think he's asking about this. Like, do it.
That is a 16.
Okay. 16. So, while most likely there is no magical item shops, the only one you actually know of is in Nerevar. Well, the only couple. The other, there are crafters, people that could potentially make you magical items with bits and bobs that they might need you to require. And for a scroll of Speak with Dead, they'd probably ask you for like a specific body part of a deceased, which, given you don't really have any deceased with you,
Don't I have some like corpse bits in my bag?
you do, but they'd probably want something specific. People that want to deal with Speak with Dead don't tend to be like the nice bumbling, like, oh yes, I'll give you this scroll. Just give me like your petrified tongue. It'll be like, so my wife cucked me with this guy called Phil, and he died recently, and I want his tongue from the crypts. Then I'll make your scroll Speak with Dead with his
Oh my
tongue.
god.
That sounds like a perfectly
It would-
easy thing for Joffrey.
And I will be blunt. With these crafters, most of these items that they can offer to make for you will be at vastly reduced rates because you are doing an active task of getting them the materials. So, like for example, Scroll of Speak with Dead is usually like pretty pricey. In this case, it wouldn't be any more than potentially about 80 to 100 gold.
Oh, that's nothing.
So pretty good overall.
Yes, we could
Either
absolutely
way,
do
how
that.
do you...
Just have to find a craftsman of some kind.
Also, I feel like I should point out, didn't they mention that they, tossed his body in
In the sea.
waters? I don't particularly
They probably fished him
fancy-
out, no pun intended.
I don't know if they fished him out.
How
Let me just
far
do.
offshore?
These are all questions that we can answer with a little investigation.
Oh, obviously,
True,
yeah.
it's worth it to look
I'm more
around.
so saying
Jerry, you
that-
really want to get that +5 to use, huh?
I'm more so saying that I don't see any need to poke around that much. We effectively have
Counterpoint
answers we
money.
could provide. Yes, answers that will be sufficient.
Or your other objectives as well.
Joffrey just kind of crosses his arms. It's like, okay, you're being awfully obstinate about this. You are incredibly obstinate and sure of yourself. Is this a real confidence you have, my friend?
I'm just saying that we've kind of established that maybe we should not hang around here too much. Yes, getting involved in, the whole arson here and there is understandable, but we have an answer we can provide to Peter in terms of the death of the warlord and all that.
Question for Lunar.
Yeah.
Am I suspicious of you now that you're insisting on not investigating
helping.
this?
Joffrey is onto your sussy antics.
You can let me know if I'm feeling sussy vibes, but
To be fair, no, I'll say
I?
this as the fucking DM. Serenthis was very like gung ho, like let's do this at the start. And then after arriving here and more information is coming to light, she's closing off. Unless you would like to say different, Lunar.
No, he's effectively currently sitting on the bed, just kind of like tapping one of his feet. As he
Oh
continues.
god, the most obvious poker tell.
As
How many-
as this
how
is
many
happening,
cards do you-
then I fold my
Sorry,
hands
continue.
in, and let
Yeah?
me know if this is okay. I'll like fold my hands in front of me as we're talking. I'll spend a sorcery point to subtle spell detect thoughts.
Well, player.
Let me know how you
The
feel about
surface
this.
thoughts.
but-
No, by all means.
okay,
yeah.
cool.
By all means. So the surface thoughts you would
Who are
get
you
is
horny
this
for?
just
detect
continuous
thoughts.
stream of absolute and utter anxiety, interspersed with thoughts of, I'm not going to that ship. I'm not going to that ship. I'm not going to that ship. That is a bad idea. That is going to end badly. Don't know what they're doing here. That is going to end badly.
So as this is happening, and I don't probe any further, and as we're having this conversation, I say, well, how about this? Your reasons are your own. Maybe you don't like the water. We can split up. You can investigate some of the potential warlords, and I'm more than happy to go by myself or with anyone else to what's it called again? The Shadow Harbor. The Shadow Harbor to visit the Silence. You don't have to deal with it.
I would like to go visit the ship as well.
Then
Go together.
I'll go with Straventhus, get some information about some warlords.
How does that sound?
I will say this. I'm not entirely sure how much information we would be able to gather from the town itself. They seem to know the basics. I don't know if there's anyone there who can actually provide that, but I do think we might, well, just check in on Hanzu and Helena in terms of, well, finding out where they live for potential fiery visit.
Yeah, we already have a decent idea of where the respective warlords are, so
Potential warlords. Don't give them too much credit.
respective. Is
Yes.
fair.
let's- yeah.
Okay, so
Thailand for me.
Yes,
So
I'm not in the
doing
habit of underestimating people I don't know. I'll give them credit until they lose it, just to be safe.
it's more quality to
Are you
have.
trying to imply something?
What do you mean?
Are you trying to imply something?
I'm saying that we should be mindful. People who are poised for power are either powerful themselves or dangerous enough to become powerful. Either way, I'm not going to talk down about them privately just so that I can be in the correct mindset in case we run into them. It's a good thought to have
no, by all
sometime.
means. But I think you'll find that there is credit where credit. I'd
Like,
say I'm decent.
as you say this, like honestly, I think it's funny to think like you shit talk them in private. Good chance, like Hanzo, you little cunt. I'm so sorry, Mr. Warlord, sir. But nonetheless, Is there anything else you guys would like to do, or would you like to set out on your objectives?
Let's go.
Unless
Let's
you've
go.
got, I look at Serenthus. Well, unless you have a gig this afternoon.
Evening rush hours are better.
Fair enough.
Drunk people pay more.
That's very true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Someone who's
That's why the
done
drug
whole-
trade's a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so to clarify, Joffrey and Derry are going to the Shadow Harbor, and Strenthus and Phineas are going to. Apologies. Who are you trying to look for? Helena or Hanzu? Helena, you were told is Old Identity or Okend. I don't remember. It was either or for one of them.
Old Identity for Hanzu, Oakend
Yes.
for Helena.
All right, I'm remembering this now because the
What
curve of Old
area
Identity,
are we in right now? Out of
Westgate.
curiosity.
Westgate.
Westgate.
That
okay.
little building just above the A that's black, that's the Bronze Lady.
Ooh, gotcha. Okay. So kind of returning to the initial map, if it's in view, Stantis is going to say to Phineas, I think we should head just directly, go through Oakend, figure out if we can find Helena there, and then go to Old Identity. And loop back through some other districts to make sure that we don't bump into them again.
Very true and very smart. Shall we?
Spitzer, hold down the fort.
Well, when Spitzer returns, he can choose who he's going with. But until that time, he will hold down the fort over the table.
Yeah.
Before we go, Serenthus, you hear in your mind. Is there anything you'd like to know about the ship while we're there?
I'm gonna roll something for Saranthus.
Bunga bunga.
Oh boy. There's a very, very odd pause as he responds eventually with, if you can figure out if there was anyone specific who sent them, yes. I'm curious what they're doing.
Find out if anyone specific sent them. Any names?
If there is, they'll give it to you.
Absolutely. That's it.
As the, right before the mind-link thing ends, Saranthus is going to kind of chime in and say, I'll kind of think in his head effectively in the direction of Derry. I don't know if this how this thing works, but, this stays
You cut out a little bit. Say what again?
oh no. This stays between us.
Why do you think I'm talking in your head?
Oh no.
Wanted to make sure.
Oh.
I need to click off the VC chat. I keep seeing Tobey Maguire. It's actually throwing me off.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Throwing me off a little bit
Yeah.
too. All right, cool. That is
Who's your
it for
profile
me then.
picture?
And because this is how I feel right now.
Well, too bad.
Also, I will use my Pearl of Power to regain the spell slot for the day.
Absolutely. Just in case,
Might as well.
We
Absolutely.
save no resources. We use everything as it goes.
So, with that being said, then I think we are going to take a quick 5 to 4 minute break, just to refresh. You need to grab a drink, go to the bathroom. 4 to 5, whatever. Just to go to the bathroom if you need it. And yeah, I'll see you guys back here at 37 minutes.
Oats my
5-minute
goats.
break, not 15.
Fine,
like I
I
need to
pause.
specify that.
Hey, I'm gonna go take a shower.
And well, I see no reason why we as a community cannot be an army on our own.
Lunar, you're gonna hate me. I forgot to unpause.
Magic.
Did you unpause now?
Yeah.
Should have said no.
Ah.
But anyway, that's he
My
leaves it
pain
up
is
there.
immeasurable.
Well, I'm sure she can't be too bad. I'm certain if, like you said, we took the two of you, set you in a room for long enough, both of you would walk out. See no reason why cooperation can't include everyone. No.
Yes, if you're
Well,
turning the
neither of us
tides,
are
then...
particularly inclined to share. I must admit, Castle on the
Right.
Hill suits me quite pleasantly, and I don't particularly wish to share that seat with
Hmm.
someone who would shove a sword through my chest.
Alas, bearing power never sort of is on anyone's radar, is it?
I mean,
That's
I
kind of the point of power.
understand your perspective, but from what I've seen, brawn and brains go hand in hand in many
Certainly,
cases.
if she would wish to acquiesce and be sword to be commanded and have her own free time, by all means. But unfortunately, she seeks to strike up the various bandit groups, the Pugilist Corps, all the fucking rest, and turn this into a roving war zone, which I don't particularly find pleasant nor comfortable.
If I may ask, I've had passing interest in politics. How would you prevent yourself from meeting a similar fate to the previous warlord?
Well, I, for one, wouldn't attack small trading vessels from south. That seemed to be a bit of an overstep on Vangier's part and led to his rather unfashionable end.
Prevent the problem before it can...
More so, not be an idiot and walk into situations which you can't walk out of.
Yes, prevent the problem before it can even occur.
I suppose that's another way of saying it. You're asking him for his policies, by the way, Serentus?
Effectively, yes. Serenthus is trying to desperately recall any actual parts of his education that people in charge were intending for to come in handy, as he says. And I heard some conversation of ties.
What's your foreign policy, bro?
What are you going to make the main expert of this community? Like,
Well, main export could be something akin to fishing.
I'm not actually asking that.
Okay.
that,
I
was,
got
that was not my Serenthus
God.
voice. I did not hiss. No, as he continues, and I heard some quite dreadful numbers in regards to Helena's tithes. 45%?
45% of any business earnings, 30 of anyone employed by business.
Dear gods above. And how much are you?
Taxes.
Yeah.
Well, this would be simply 10% monthly. I see no need to, tax everyone into the ground for the sake of existing to pay off mercenary companies, which require far too much money for far too little service.
Hmm.
This poison dagger is much simpler anyway.
I,
If that is your first inclination, something is very wrong with this man.
yeah.
Kind of just nods at that and shoots Phineas a kind of look of like, you want to ask any questions?
You look at Phineas. Phineas is like, it seems like he's purposefully keeping his eyes very dead so as to not show much emotion through. You see, like, he's smiling through very clenched teeth.
Oh, for two tourists, you are awfully interested in the politics and goings on of Adenti, which I'm assuming you're not
Oh,
staying particularly long.
Oh,
So I must
it's,
ask, what are your names?
my name is Serenthus. I'm gonna kind of like gesture to Phineas if he wants to introduce himself.
Astor.
What'd you say, sorry?
Astor.
Did you fucking
A-S-T-O-R.
take? Did you fucking take Castor and?
No, I
I
took
hope not.
I took my character from my Wednesday campaign because that's the first name I thought of.
Okay. I will say he's
You
actively
type that in
he's
campaign
actively
DC
paying
chat?
attention and trying to feel you guys out. So please
Mhm.
roll me a deception
Yes.
check.
Okay. me grab my dice and that is a 19 -1, I think. Not very charismatic. Yep, 19 -1. I need Derry to teach me how to lie.
19 minus 1, so 18. Right, so Sorrenthus, Astor.
It's just that this is going to sound terrible, but I do have. I mean, it's not every single day that you pass through a town and see this kind of goings on. For the most part, I've just been trudging from village to village through snow and dirt. This is kind of a bit of an odd occurrence, and I could not help start poking around given how unusual this goings on happened.
Fair enough. Well,
I mean,
Tell
it's
you
not
what.
every day that, or week or month that you get to witness some sort of warlord elections being held. I'm not entirely sure if that's the correct term.
not particularly elections, more so
Takeovers.
Trials?
not also trials. I'd say
Takeovers?
attempts at a non-hostile takeover. Yes, that would work better.
Takeover. Go right.
I'll say this. Me to you. Should you wish to, then Helena is most likely doing one of her mercenary rallies later tonight in Oak End. Find her there, see what you think, and if you agree with me that she's a very big problem, well, I'm not a particularly battle-inclinated person, and I'd be willing to cut some corners and pay you to deal with the problem.
Oh,
Very
well,
interesting proposition.
Like I said, poison dagger is simpler than a large-scale siege.
I'll make sure to keep that in mind.
Again,
You have a lovely day.
we'll say this. If your morals don't permit you from killings, I'm willing to pay just for disappearances. If you want to usher off into the wilderness, I'd be more than willing. Though, I don't really like making threats, though I suppose this is more of an assurance than a threat. Reveal anything to her, I'll know about it. I think that's kind of obvious. I will say for tourists, you are very terribly disguised as adventurers, or is it the other way around? I see the gear.
Suppose it could go either way then.
he kind of just tilts his head and he kind of just gives off a bit of a laugh as he says, I don't really think of myself as an adventurer, though.
And yet your friend wears rather remarkably made studded leather armor where most travelers would wear piecemeal, and you are decorated head to toe in finery. And I believe you have,
I am a
if I'm
musician
looking at
and
it
a
correctly,
performer.
a magical whip. Not sure what kind, don't particularly care. So, I suppose I should just say, the lie of tourists will get you reasonably far here. Though, to those who pay attention, not so much. Have a good day.
And you as well.
Smooths his collar down and walks.
What a fucking weak
There's
ass.
different kinds of tourists, as he also starts to kind of like gesture for Phineas to come on, let's go.
And as you're walking away, what are you guys' surface thoughts?
Sure. Sorrenthus is like, okay, this is kind of adding up nicely. The bit of intrigue of how bad is Helena, and a bit of an annoyance of like, who the fuck does this guy think he is to like say like, oh, tourists shouldn't wear finery? Like he's just
You've gotta be
logic.
poor.
Like,
So this is mad about being called. It's oh my god! It's rich person is mad about being called rich.
literally. Literally.
This is
God.
Andrew's
That is
behavior, and you know this.
You have gold
I look
engravings on
normal.
your shoes.
Oh, it's actually gold embossing and embroidery.
Oh, right, my bad, my bad.
Get it right.
I think Phineas's surface thoughts. It's a lot of. Phineas doesn't really care for people taking things from like, the lower-handed, the smaller. So I think he just took everything he said with a grain of salt. Except for the fact that he immediately clocked them as adventurers. He's definitely like got that sort of at the forefront of his mind. He's sort of moving his jacket in a way to sort of hide the whip and the short swords. And he's like buckling his coat in front of him. But
What curvaceous hips you have, Phineas.
Machine gun shaped bulge in your back.
did you think I made a character that could not be perceived as thickums? Never.
Got the whole Cheesecake Factory
Uh,
back there.
Real
There
question,
are-
'cause I
there are
don't really
certain
know the
aspects
Wheel of
of this
Reclet.
characters.
theater.
Yeah?
Are we are the two of us and Hanzu exiting in the same
No.
direction?
No.
No. Is there a way to see like where he's going, circle around, and like try to catch up to him to see where he's?
I will say in the time frame, you can kind of judge the distance around the theater. He'll be long gone by the time you try and circle around.
If he's actively moving away, could I wait for a second and then potentially climb to a vantage point in this theater? Is that do?
I'd say I need an investigation check because it is rather run down, and I effectively see if you can find a way up that won't directly injure yourself or be too much of a hassle.
Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha. 16.
16.
God, these
Yes,
rolls.
it is. You'll be able to get up to decently half the ground to potentially see where he's going, though it is a rather busy day, so potentially you will lose him. Best way to know where he's going obviously is to follow him, but if you want to just see where he's going from where you can, absolutely, it's doable. So is that what you want to do?
It's effectively. I'm mainly saying that like we start going away in the opposite direction. It's gonna be weird if we immediately like circle back.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm like trying to determine the direction, hoping we can catch up. So yeah. So this is effectively gonna like wait for a couple of moments as he like moves away, and then is just gonna rush over to like maybe one of the pillars or something. Is gonna climb up. Do I need to roll athletics or like perception to check where he's headed?
Perception. I don't think so. I wouldn't say so. No,
Okay.
because it's not like again, you're rushing, but you're not like in the middle of combat, and it's not particularly difficult to climb now that you found a way to get up. So both of you can do this if you would like to. But as you, okay, absolutely. So if you both go up there, crawling up to the top of this amphitheater, the stage. It's a little bit curved and it has been raining a little bit here and there, so rooftop's a little bit slippy and wet, but nonetheless, you do spy him. He's rather tall, obviously. He doesn't head further eastward into into Heather Place or Mistgate or northward to the Glass Harbor. He heads southward, down to a direction further in Heather Place, but potentially Cotton Row, or maybe some other such place. You're not quite sure.
So I'm just gonna kind of like jostle Phineas and say, "Okay, go before we lose him. Come on." As he is going to, how tall are we? How like high up did we get up? Out of curiosity.
About 40 feet, 50 feet.
Hang on, let me check. I'm doing math. Yeah, he's just gonna jump down.
Absolutely. This is very depressing music for this kind of
Yes.
woman. Works better. So as you jump down and finish, you can jump down or scramble down. It's not that big a deal.
Is there
coming
like
to a
a
roll.
like
no
a wood
rooftops to
beam
jump
above
to.
me? Is there like
there's
a wood beam
no-
above me?
No, because you are on the roof of the place, not in like the rafters.
Okay. Yeah, I'll scramble down.
Effectively, he
Okay.
just kind of like pushes himself off the wall, kind of just partially slides down it, occasionally catching himself on various bricks and pieces of the wall, eventually reaching the ground, as I am going to start to follow him.
Fair enough. So, as you go to follow him, what you do see is him disappearing southward. And I would like you both to roll me stealth checks. Or stealth checks, though, say this. I know it's kind of an obvious choice, but it will be differing styles of following. You can roll stealth with your dexterity or with your charisma to blend in. Your choice. You can try and be sneaky, though if you fail, there's higher consequences, or you can try and blend in with the crowds and move with them. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anya,
well,
what do you think?
I'm gonna be sneaky.
I'm also gonna be sneaky.
Yeah, again, I know it seems like an obvious choice, but there are benefits and there are
My
detriments to both.
riz is not that good.
Shut the
Oh,
fuck
yeah,
up.
same. I'm at a -1, so politely shut the fuck up. Here's the natural 20 I've been waiting for. Yeah, natural 20 for a. I'm good at stealth. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, effectively.
Or 26.
26? What did you get? Parenthesis?
Natural 1 for total of 8.
Oh god.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so that's what 34 divided by 2 is. What's that? 15.
17.
17. 17. All right, 1 second. He's actively paying attention. Okay. As you creep through side alleyways and duck into shop corners and the like, it's definitely stealth. You're definitely sneaking, though. At some point, you see kind of the shoulders tense, as almost like the proverbial hackles are being raised. As you can assume, he's probably noticed he's being followed. And then, within about 5 minutes, as he leads you further and further south, he takes a turn, another turn, and you've lost him.
Fuck. Okay. I think getting on a rooftop is worth it.
No, that man could spot I had a magic item like it was nothing. Man could spot we were adventurers like it was nothing. Sneaking up on him is going to be either a group effort or
Tie him down, beat the fuck out of him.
We
I'm a
also
very
don't know
good
if
shot.
he was headed home or if I don't know, headed elsewhere.
Could be either or.
So,
Exactly.
so with that, we're gonna cut over to Joffrey and Derry. So you guys,
Sweet.
yeah, you guys exist. As you make your way to the Shadow Harbor, is there anything you'd like to do in the meantime? Any shops you'd like to visit, or just go straight there and get down to business?
To defeat.
May I take a moment with Joffrey, just as we're walking?
Sure.
So yeah, as we're going, Derry, we probably depart in like weird silence for a bit, as what we just learned about you kind of hangs over us.
It's probably hanging over you more than it's hanging over Joffrey and
Okay.
Muriel.
It's fair enough. I mean, you seemed a little nervous. I don't know. There's definitely something that came out.
Well, now
regardless.
now that it's been said and you're walking, like the nervousness is probably just kind of dissipated.
Yeah. Fade to the back of the mind. Well, as we're walking, Derry breaks, presumably the silence, unless you're just sort of talking as we're walking.
Nah, he'd be politely
All
silent.
right. Darius says, well, if you have Joffrey,
Mhm.
you can ask me anything about me that you would like. It doesn't have to be now, but I think we've gotten to know you a little better, whether you liked it or not. That doesn't feel quite fair.
Just kind of shrugs. I mean, I'll be honest. I was going to have to say it at some point or another. I mean, if we're going to keep traveling together, which has been quite fun so far. Seen some interesting sights.
Yeah, we spent an entire week on the road together. It was like a blur.
I know. Wasn't able to do a lot of talking, jolly ranters and all that, but it's an interesting situation the lot of us has found ourselves in.
Yeah, and especially with this town in its own interesting situation, I suppose I've been doing some thinking. You know, and I don't know if you remember this, but you did almost kill me.
He just kind of furrows his brows. I did? When was that?
Yeah. Well, it was when you covered me in acid. You remember.
He kind of squints his eyes like he's thinking real hard.
Is he
Doesn't-
pretending?
That's an insight check, motherfucker.
All right. Natural 20.
For a total of...
20.
I got a fucking 9. He is not doing a very good job. He does remember, but it's very clear that he's acting this way in an attempt to sort of impart that to give the air and the vibe that it shouldn't really be that thing you care about. He's trying to gaslight you, basically.
As he's sort of making this show, then Darius says, "Don't hurt yourself. When I told you that I forgave you, I wasn't entirely sure if I was lying. However, today has made up my mind for me. I really do forgive you."
Okay.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because after you revealed what you did about yourself, it occurred to me that this is just the way you are.
How do you mean?
This. You have incredibly poor judgment. It's as ineffable to you as, as my own abilities, as my own magical abilities. I couldn't get rid of them if I wanted to. You were made like this, I've decided.
So what you're saying is that I'm built different.
I'm saying that you're built in this way, and after today, I can't be mad at that.
Damn, how much psychic damage do I take?
The only psychic damage you take is that you perceive you should take. So none.
Okay, I go down. No!
It's not very nice to be like dissected like that.
Psychically incinerated. Youch.
Should become a red dragonborn. SMH my head.
And yeah, as Jerry's saying this, you know, he's not
therapy. Who?
he's not being necessarily mean-spirited about it.
I'm just
He's
imagining
being
a
as
vine boom
sincere
after
as
every
he can.
after every sentence.
A what?
A vine boom, just to emphasize the point.
Oh my god, yeah.
So, eventually, you guys do arrive at the Shadow Harbor. Are you specifically looking for the Silence, the ship, or are you looking for
Yes.
people to talk to? Silence? Okay, so the Silence is easy enough to find. It's this large vessel. It's maybe a galleon in size. Trading vessel, though there do appear to be mounted ballista on the sides of it because they don't have cannons. I'm sorry to disappoint. Yeah, we're Sea of Thieves in this shit. At the front end of the ship, there appears to be two smaller harpoon guns, though, with lengths of chains attached to the bolts, supporting the. I do not know the parts of a ship. What the fuck is it? The stern, the thing that comes off the front of the ship.
No.
What is it? Don't hold on.
I only know them in
Parts
Russian.
of a ship. I'm really sorry. I need to actually pull this up so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. The bow.
Oh yeah.
We love the bow. Off the bow of the ship, it appears to be supported by what looks to be this large dragon, wings pressed up against the sides of it, folding up, decorated in gold. The sails themselves are darkened, potentially a dark purple or blue. It's kind of hard to tell. Decorated what appears to be a serpent biting upon its own tail.
Someone's
Three
compensating.
masts. Yeah, it's a very extravagant ship for a trading vessel.
It's the Chevy
and
Silverado of ships.
Effectively, and seated right on the docks next to it, sat down is this broad-shouldered man. Sat on his like rather small, rickety chair. Long brown hair pulled back, like slicked almost back into a ponytail, shaved sides, and these large, almost feathered eyebrows that come off to either side of the head. Long sweeping nose with a big bushy beard and these luminous yellow eyes. He is a shifter. Kind of sat there,
Sorry.
sharpening an
What is a
axe. A shifter is effectively a half lycanthrope, or therianthrope would be the correct term because it can be any animal. Effectively a beast person.
Joffrey just kind of looks over. Do you want to do the talking or should I?
I think I could do a pretty good job.
Go for
Since
it.
also, I seem to distinctly recall that when we were talking about this with Peter, a conversation you were there for, of course, but I'm just reminding you.
I was very focused on the Jolly Rancher.
Yes, I noticed. There is something quite literal about the silence, which is, from what I understand anyway, the crew is. Remind me if let me know if I'm remembering this correctly, please. The crew is gagged while the captain is the only one who is able to speak. I don't know if this remains true while they're docked or if this is just while they're on the water.
I'm going to
but
be completely honest. Now that I'm thinking about it, that sounds really fucking stupid. Imagine there's a fire. Nobody could say fire.
perhaps they have a series of signals or bells that mean certain things that they can ring.
But it would just.
And then you hear in your head, besides, I can speak without talking.
Okay, yes. Well, you can do that. But what makes they might not be able to do that is my point.
Well, we'll find out.
I suppose
But
we will.
I'll be happy to take part.
Please do. I have a +2 to my charisma things. It's not that good.
I have a little bit more than that. Yeah, sure. I will approach this shifter. Also, quick question, I guess. What is the attitude of like the bustle at these docks? Are they just giving the silence this? Is the silence
It's
just
a
like
wide
completely
berth.
left alone? Okay, yeah,
Yeah, it's a wide
Um,
berth.
cool. Do I see anyone on the ship, or does it look empty?
No, it looks empty. From what you can
Okay.
tell, like looking at it, the lanterns, and it like as you get closer and closer, it's easier to see this. The lanterns on the side of the ship have been burnt down to the wick. They've not been replaced.
Okay. I'll approach this shifter.
Okay. And as you move forward, kind of looks up at you and blinks slowly, still sharpening the head of the axe for replacing the whetstone. Did I cut out?
I think you did cut out. I wasn't sure if you just went
I'm
silent.
terribly sorry.
I had to say something.
He effectively says, "Are you all right?"
Are we all right?
Yeah, are you all right? You know, like, what's good?
I think I'm doing okay. Sorry, I'm actually here on business. Me and my associate.
Hello.
Business. That business being?
We are attempting to ascertain what we can about, the mystery of this docked ship. Is there anyone we could speak to?
The mystery of the docked ship that has been here for 2 weeks.
This is going great, by the way.
Well, we're not sure why it's still here.
It's still here because the crew isn't here.
Where have they gone?
As far as I know, holding cells in Castle Mortgate.
Right. Well,
That's a pretty straightforward answer.
yes.
Mortgane, sorry. Not Mortgate.
Well, if it's not too much trouble, me and my associate, Joffrey, by the way, would be interested
Very.
in doing a bit of investigating as a supplementary follow-up to see if there's anything that was missed, anything that needs turning over in order to either fully condemn or exonerate the crew.
Sure. Once you get permission from the next warlord who runs the town of Adenti, you're more than welcome to.
We were actually sent here on behalf of sorry, it was Cassian, right?
Yep.
Presumably. We're actually here on behalf of Cassian.
The warlord.
All right,
The warlord of
been a
where?
travel.
Oh, a
Very right.
Okay. So, when I say warlord, I mean the warlord who rules Adenti. Meaning you'll have to wait until the rest of the rabble scrabbles over one another and claims the throne for themselves.
That could take a while.
It could. But I'm getting paid to make sure no one is on the ship until a warlord is chosen.
Oh, how much does a gig pay?
Pays enough to get me out of here eventually. And it's only until Sidon arrives. Not that long now.
I'll tell you what. Give us 2 hours and you make an easy 5 platinum?
5 platinum. Right, so get on the bad side of the most notorious warlord in all of the North for a sum of 50 gold. I think not. No, with for 5 platinum, if you're ready to go in an hour, I wouldn't mind giving you 30, 40 minutes on the ship.
I look
Sorry,
at
Gary.
Joffrey. Both look at each other. I look back.
I think that would work.
How about an even hour, and we can call it square?
6 platinum then. Even number, even sum.
There is one brain cell in this entire party, and this brain cell got chopped in half the moment we split up.
What's that fucking movie where it's like both is good?
Fascinating.
Road to El Dorado.
Eldorado.
Yeah, that's
Literally
that's the
that.
fucking both of us
Literally
looking
that.
at each other.
Yeah.
It's tough to be a god, but if
What a
you
good
get
movie.
it is really
I
good.
think that absolutely is an acceptable deal. 6 platinum?
6 platinum for right. 6 platinum. You come back here in an hour. Let you on. Have an hour on the ship, untouched. Go about your business. Then you're off.
All right, we'll see you in an hour then.
I'll be
Wait the
here.
hour.
Do you want to go get your potential group members?
Sure.
I mean, we don't know
It's
where
it's,
they are.
it's up to you guys. I mean, I'm assuming you can meet back up in an hour. It's reasonable enough to find someone. It's up to you guys. You can wait here by yourselves and go on.
Let's go grab Spitzer.
No, potentially. Hey, everybody, Spitzer here.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Joffrey?
It's scarce
It's
here.
not his voice.
In
It's not
celebration
his
of our
voice
new
whatsoever.
friendship, I think we can absolutely do this by ourselves.
Oh my god, just the
I'm
two
just
of us.
saying, all it takes is one stowaway to slit your throats.
2 casters are by themselves. We didn't think this through.
The two of us
Spells.
being
have
private
spells, too.
investigators together, searching for clues.
Okay.
Oh god.
At their
So,
hit
I've
points
read this
together,
somewhere
you're
Got a
fine.
pretty good investigation.
all
I
right.
have a
All
pretty
right.
good
All right.
You guys are
investigation
getting
too.
excited.
All right. So, you guys want to do this together? That's completely fine. I do not mind. Can absolutely make it work.
Okay, but over the table, do you want to get the others?
I mean, I think it depends
Okay,
on
over
like.
the table, I don't mind.
I don't
Yeah,
either.
my only
I-
concern is the pacing, right? Like, if we're okay with jumping back and forth,
I can run it either way.
okay. I would love to do this 2-man
Yeah.
thing 1, thing 2
Oh,
style,
God.
You
but
son of a bitch.
and
Fantastic.
you guys are
So,
are looking into the other warlords anyway. It's, well, you know, we might have.
fantastic. So as you wait an hour and come back, you see that the dock's been cleared out, and it is just the shifter who, unfortunately, you do not know the name of yet because you didn't ask and he didn't
Oh,
offer.
by the way, I would have wanted to like hang out and like sort of clock like what kind of
Oh yeah, we're not going
movement goes on
far.
here.
Oh no, not far. I was at like the entrance to the docks because he would have directed you toward there. Because from what you can tell and what you could pick up from what he was saying, it's very much going to be him ushering people out. It's going to kind of look awkward if he's ushering people out and you two are just stood there like, bye everybody.
Okay. Yeah, I would have wanted to do this like discreetly, but I do want to
Yeah.
like keep an eye out while we're waiting. I don't want to waste my time of just
Absolutely.
an hour of like doing nothing. I want to see what I can discern.
Absolutely. Discern about what?
I guess I'm thinking like I'm mainly focused on the shifter and the silence. If there's any sort of like movement in it or around it, or if the shifter like interacts with anyone in particular.
Yeah. Roll me a perception check. Your choice. No, I say your choice. Roll me a perception check.
+0, baby. 15.
15. Yeah, you went intelligence for this campaign. For a 15,
Can't you let the boy investigate?
Intelligence and charisma.
this is specifically perception because he's
Yeah.
looking for people he's interacting with.
No, no, I'm
and whatnot.
fucking
Yeah,
around. Fine.
I'm just
Yeah, you're people watching, not
Yeah.
looking for objects and whatnot. So, 15 doesn't appear to have any sense of like favoritism or people he lingers on. Goes about not like in a particularly hurried way, just taking his time, and whether or not that's because he's spiteful and just wants money, or is he just doesn't want to cause a disturbance that would tick some people off. You're not quite sure. For the boat itself, here and there you see things move, but can be largely attributed to the breeze. No kind of life on there, or unlife, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
But yeah, as an hour goes by, eventually it's just him sat back at the chair, whetstone and axe again.
Pull out 3 platinum and show it to Joffrey.
Oh,
A match.
I was going to just cover it myself, but sure. Was that 3 platinum? I'll take yours.
As you move up, and go to hand it to him. 1 hour. I won't be doing anything. And to be clear, any mischief or whatever you get up into in there, it's on you. You get shot by a stray crossbow that's been left unguarded, not my problem.
Don't worry, we're well aware of whatever risks will be in there. Thank you, though.
Good. Well, I figure it's better to make the rules clear. We're square.
The
On you go.
masculine urge to steal the ship.
Unfortunately, this is not Pirates of the Caribbean where like you can trick another ship to come out after you and swing over. It'll take hours to get her underway. All right, so
Shall we?
if you would like to, you
the
can
ship.
step up the gangplank and get on.
First thing I want to do as we get on, or like anything, is detect thoughts. I want to do a quick sweep over the deck, and if I understand this correctly,
Looking for
I can-
life forms that are thinking.
yes, I'm looking for life forms that are thinking. It can go through. It can penetrate barriers, but
Yeah,
rock
the
or
common
metal.
like barrier stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can't detect anything. And as you look across the deck, it's largely scattered. You do see what looks to be by the actual gangplank itself as you step onto the decking. There is a large amount of long since dried up candle wax. Potentially that story was not inaccurate. So you can head down into the actual lower levels of the ship, or you can go to the captain's quarters.
We should start from the top, work our way down. Captain's quarters, I believe.
Completely agree.
Let's go looting. And
We only got an hour, so let's be
Joffrey
economical.
will go over to presumably the door that will lead to the captain's quarters and give the knob a shake, see if it opens.
It does, and inside you see this like kind of dimly lit area. And I will say it's starting to get towards like early late afternoon, so it's still easy to see, but it's getting to the point now where potentially below the decks you might need some form of light. Here though it's fine. There's a large triple set of windows in the back.
Any
That
lanterns
appears to be
hanging around or anything?
There appears to be.
God, neither of them can see in the dark. Oh no.
We're fucking sorcerers and wizards.
We're fucking spellcasters. Shut the fuck up, nerd.
Cast light
Yeah,
on the
you
nearest
can-
whatever.
No.
Who has light, huh? Does one of you have light?
I don't.
Yeah, I've got light.
Thank
Okay,
God.
Joffrey does. Okay.
No,
God,
no,
damn,
no,
no,
no.
light.
I do
Barry
not have.
does,
I
Barry
do
does.
not have the light cantrip.
Yeah.
Um,
So, but now
by the
you
way-
can change out your cantrips on a long rest. Joffrey. Yes.
But by the way, before I cast light up here, I would like
Mhm.
to. How is this ship visible from anyone like outside the docks?
The ship outside the docks, no. But anyone that enters the docks would be able to see light you shine through like the captain's quarters.
Okay.
There are the back windows
there-
to be worried about.
Are there curtains?
There are indeed curtains.
I will close those curtains real good.
Absolutely. So as you
before
close
I
the
cast
curtains,
light.
you see embroidered upon them is the depiction of a city. It's one both you can recognize, Port Aciron, a southern city on the westernmost west coast rather. As you close curtains, cast light, it's illuminated the space. Around you is these large bookshelves that kind of take up floor to ceiling. Though there's not actually a lot of books. Mostly appears to be trinkets. The like. You see on the desk though, what you are looking for, Joffrey, is indeed a lantern that doesn't look as if it's been used in a while, but has its fuel within it.
Just snap a little flame, light it up, get a little more illumination
absolutely.
in the space.
Absolutely, and the atmosphere in here is almost a little bit heavy. Like there's a pressure to the chest that both of you can attribute to just general vibe of the place, not really something affecting it. Though there's not a lot in here to actually glean. There's trinkets, there's baubles, but there's not much else.
I want to look at so the bookshelves just have trinkets and
Yeah,
collected.
effectively. There's a couple
It's
books here
just
and
filled
there,
with
like a couple
Funko
ledgers.
Pops.
Yeah, effectively.
Uh, I I'd like to investigate, see if any of them look less dusty than the others, like they're regularly examined, picked up for anything.
Sure. So, as you do this, and again, I won't really require an investigation check here because it's not really something hidden. But for potential hidden things and whatnot, I will need it. So as you look around, you do see that on the easternmost side of the room, there is a ledger that is not less dusty so much as it's almost completely barren. This small coating of it appears to only have gathered over the past couple of days or so. And you dust it off, and it appears to be voyages from the past several months. You flick in, and the most recent entry details in the cargo hold, like some general stuff, silks, silks, imported leather, and various food supplies, and ale and wine. Appears to take up a lot of this ledger, though
Based.
you see several of the actual wine barrels, quote unquote, marked as special. There's a smaller little handwritten note next to it that details heavier than most, requires 4, not 2 men to lift. And it
Derry,
details 20 of these things.
Derry, do we know
Yeah.
if the cargo was unloaded, or were they just simply brought to port and everything left as it was?
I think
Any-
we can answer that question
We
ourselves.
can. I was just hoping not to be disappointed.
No
I'm
idea.
going to hold on to this. It's a ledger of some sort, and if there's
I'll
anything,
take a look at it real quick.
Here, take a look.
I would like to first. I would like to ascertain if this is like a doctored ledger.
What does
Is
doctor
this-
mean?
Doctor just means like
Edited, forged.
yeah,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
edited. If there's some like suspicious bullshit about it. And I
Other
would
than
also
the special wine.
yeah. And I would also like to take a look and see like where exactly they last came from.
Certainly. So you can indeed roll me an investigation check.
Okay.
And I will say, if you would like, you can either roll it with your intelligence or your charisma modifier. Intelligence would be specifically for any kinds of forgery. Charisma is more so your recollection of how this kind of thing usually works.
While he's doing that, I'm going to use
Your
this
results will
really
differ.
fast.
Absolutely. Your results will differ, but it's not particularly high DC for either. So the choice is yours.
Okay. Question. I was about
Yes.
to cast enhance ability on myself.
I would
If I-
recommend doing this for intelligence checks overall, because this is probably the only instance you'll be using your charisma if you choose to. If that's what the
yeah,
question is.
I
Sorry.
guess what I was going to ask was if I want to make the charisma version of the investigation, will that still give me advantage on the investigation or?
It'll give you advantage in this investigation, but any ones that come up, I will just outright tell you will most likely be intelligence.
Okay. Well, then I will cast enhance ability on myself. I will give myself Fox's Cunning, give myself advantage on intelligence checks, and I will roll that investigation. And if I roll this with charisma, I do not get advantage.
Yes, no advantage.
Okay. Then I will roll it with my investigation. Ooh. That is a 24 total.
24 total. It is indeed edited in parts. You see that there are small discrepancies in terms of weight distribution at several ports they have stopped at. The cargo gains weight when nothing is unloaded, and at several other ports, the cargo loses weight when nothing is offloaded. Small things that most people wouldn't seem to catch, though being experienced as you are in these kinds of ways, it's relatively easy enough to read once you have it. Well, you can kind of tell that this is the ledger of someone that's gotten comfortable.
Alright, I'm back.
Someone that's gotten a little bit sloppy over time because of the ease of their operation.
You know
Aside from
anything
that,
about
how do you mean?
Oh, no. That's just yeah, sorry. Go on.
No, you're all good. You're all good. Last location they came from, Morva, which you would know as the Sick City. And not sick as in like radical. Sick as in fucking ill.
Yeah.
Totally tubular, man.
I believe
Shut the fuck up.
Sick.
wasn't that the crow speakers from Morva, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And they came from Morva. What did they bring from Morva according to this ledger?
Apparently, Morva is where they picked up. Apologies, I need to actually pull this up. I wrote this row out in weird shorthand. I
go
will
for it.
give it to you guys before the session, before next session. Just let me pull it up real quick.
All right, I'm not asking very specific. Dumb
It's all
questions.
good. Don't worry. I'm used to very specific questions. I just didn't have this right in front of me.
You have to deal with me playing a literal occult research. Questions like got really fucking specific.
Right. So
Well,
there.
email.
So from there,
God.
they picked up several crates of this special wine, and several handcrafted items made from diatrol skin. Why anyone would want to wear that? Fuck if you know.
Rich people are weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could be worse.
I
Could be a
hand
rod roll.
I hand the ledger back to Joffrey.
Find anything interesting?
This isn't an ordinary trading vessel, although I suppose that's obvious from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Probably smuggling,
Oh, most
Or-
definitely.
or at the very least taking
I mean,
strange orders.
special wine. Come on.
And the weight has also been fudged a bit. This is I give him the down low.
Well, let us go investigate that then, shall we? Or at least the next
Uh,
deck down.
Have we checked the desk yet?
You have not.
I would like to check the desk before we leave.
The desk itself is relatively kept clear. What
Okay.
you can see across the top are some papers which largely read the same as the ledgers you have. It appears to potentially be like first drafts where any misspellings and whatnot are scratched out. And the drawers of the desk only contain really stationery and extra paper and supplies and whatnot, and a small little dagger.
Any like hidden bottoms? I'm looking for keys. anything that
Investigation
may
check
give
then,
access?
please.
Cool. Anything interesting about this dagger? Or does it just look like a dagger?
It's just a regular dagger.
Okay.
It's a
That is
+3 dagger. It's Vecna's dagger.
Aha!
No.
That is a slutty 20.
Okay.
Fucking wow.
Why'd you call it that?
Took Fox's cunning. Fox's cunning did not take kindly to you. Okay. You do not find any hidden or false bottoms, though you do find in a small little what looks to be a diary of some kind, which no actual inscriptions are. As you open it up, hollowed out in the center is a small iron key.
I take it.
Okay. Are you guys heading below decks?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I,
So as you head down into the first level, let me pull up my mental map of a Sea of Thieves galleon so I know what I'm talking
This motherfucker.
about.
I lean over to Joffrey and I say, I'm kind of
I think we're trapped in a
roided out
Game
right
Pass
now
game.
on my investigation. If you have anything like that, now'd be the time to use it.
If I had to put a statistic to it, it'd be a +7, so it's not bad.
You have a +7.
Uh-huh.
Theoretically speaking,
On a
of course.
theoretical 20-sided dice roll, I would add 7 additional points to whatever the roll.
Weird number to choose. It's not a very clean number.
I think
The
about this a
prophecy
lot.
earlier said 5. Why are you saying 7, dude? Okay. So as you head below decks, you move down into the second level, of which the ship, not including the top deck, has 3. Also not including the bilge, because the bilge is an awful place that you should never go to unless you want to be dead. Bilges suck. You move down, and you see there are a couple of crates around that appear to be scattered with various ballista bolts and the like. There are a couple of hammocks here. This doesn't appear to be the crew quarters, but it does appear to be potentially a place of rest for those that have earned more space and more privacy away from people, as there are current partitions and the like.
Did we see signs of ballista from the outside?
On the top, yes. And instead of
Okay,
cannons,
okay.
they have ballista here, effectively.
Okay.
By the
Yes.
way, as we go down, I would like to move carefully in case
Oh, absolutely.
the ship has been
Sure. Roll me.
left in a funky
I'll
state.
I'll say we roll me dexterity checks.
Dexterity
Oh,
checks.
no.
Just straight
Yeah, just-
dexterity.
Just straight dexterity. You're
Not
trying to
stealth?
angle your way down. If you want to roll stealth, we can roll stealth. I assumed you just didn't want to like trip over something or whatever.
Well, I'm mainly thinking like,
Ooh.
you know, maybe they left behind some
Booby traps.
nasty surprises for folks.
I'll say roll
Around.
roll stealth then. I will say if you're specifically looking for traps, I will say you can roll stealth with your dexterity or your intelligence modifier, because one is effectively, like you're moving your way through slowly, carefully. The other is actively looking and positioning yourself away from things that are dangerous.
Yeah, I'd like
I-
to use my intelligence, please.
Absolutely.
That'll be a 23.
23.
I will roll stealth with my intelligence modifier, which I
Let's
believe I can take
go.
advantage on then, right?
Smart boys.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can, because of enhance ability.
Oh boy. That is not incredible. That is an 11.
So for 34, that's 17 again. As you move down these stairs, it's all fine, it's all clear. You don't see any booby traps. As you move down, move forward, you see that there's a large, what looks to be map table, several pins stapled into it. Would you like to move closer?
Yeah.
Okay, no, absolutely. I'm effectively trying to like
Absolutely.
piece where you're going.
Yeah.
As you move closer to the map table itself, you see that it is the continent of Craquias'mar, though the parts that are pinned are somewhat off the shore of it, potentially little islands and the like. But as you move forward, Derry, unfortunately, you feel one of the floorboards kind of creak underneath you, and there's an instinctive feeling of like, for fuck's sake. Just because when you're in a silent place, any kind of sound feels louder than it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you seem to pass it by.
Joffrey just kind of looks down at the floorboard. He's
And then I get rid of those crossbow bolts. Everything seems all right.
By what right do you disturb the silence? And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Aw, man.
Oh god.
By what right do you disturb the silence? That's where we left off at.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
We're gonna die!
Oh, we're
Not
good.
quite. So, I did have a note that I wanted to bring up just real quick because we ended the session before anyone goes anywhere. So, quick thing. I am feeling out several not small, they're pretty large changes for marshals. Those of you who play Luna's campaigns may have seen them. Effectively, what I am considering is for and I won't. Phineas won't get this one specifically because also spellcasting, and also you get the 10 feet of movement anyways, and you have supposed like Zephyr Strike to supplement for it. But effectively, what I am considering is excuse the disco music. What I am considering is that at level 5, fighters, barbarians, monks, and rogues gain an extra 10 feet to their movement. This can only be gained once from your class. So I'll reword the wording later.
You can copy
And
paste the
second,
wording from mine if you're using it.
so this has been something that I have been testing out with Wildmount, and I'm not really satisfied with the way I've done it. I'll keep it there for now, for how it is there. But here I want to propose this, and it's up to you if you think it's good or not, if you don't like it, if you hate it, if you have criticisms. But effectively what I'm considering is allowing those who gain extra attack, the class feature, to a shove or grapple as a bonus action on their turns.
No, I do not care for that simply because I Surrenders do not have bonus actions.
Right, but is there an actual complaint with it being a bonus action?
Oh,
Because
no,
you can
no,
do
no,
it as an
no,
action
sorry,
or a
I should
bonus
have
action.
phrased that better. I do not have any complaints. I think honestly it would add a lot more utility. Like, I don't know. I think it's fine. Like, it's also not going to be that bad because only 2 people in this party, well, are probably actually going to be able to use this. Those being.
And you're both dex based.
Yep, those being. Well, I mean, I have expertise in athletics. But those being me and Phineas, like, both of us have bonus action. It's
Yeah.
not going to come up as frequently, but it is going to be nice to use, like, just to have.
Right, then we'll try that out once we get to level
Exactly,
5.
if necessary.
That-
Especially given that shoving can be pretty fun, given that it's which is the word.
Is that supplementary to extra attack or changing it? If it's changing it, then no. If it's supplementary, then sure. I
No,
can
it's
see why
supplemental.
not.
It's a supplement. It's not a. It doesn't change anything. Effectively, when you gain extra attack, you gain access to the feature.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with it.
All right, so we'll try
My-
that out.
my
Level 5,
only-
both the move.
My only
Yeah.
mild hang-up is that I really don't know how much we'd benefit from it, I guess.
Probably not. It again. I'm aware that this is by and large a dex-based party. But it's something I want to try out and figure out here. With Wildmount, it's a little bit hard to get a feel for in either case because everyone is strength.
Yeah.
So I want to feel it out here as well and just see how it feels and whatnot in both of the groups before I finalize it as an actual official rule I'll be using. Yeah. Subject to change at any point. But also, it's by and large what I have noticed quite a bit is that martials effectively it does feel kind of annoying for a lot of martials when they fully go the no magical route. The only magic stuff they get is magical items or potentially feats, and so then they are effectively being kept pace with the spellcasters who have these amazing reality breaking spells. And that's not to say like for the half casters that can also be annoying, but they can supplement with things like Misty Step. I believe Rangers get Zephyr Strike, which increases your movement by 30, if I remember correctly.
Strike is a great.
So like there's other stuff there for them to supplement with, whereas basic no magical martials unfortunately don't really get a lot. Monks do, yes, but
But
I
monks
also
mainly, it's once again, the utility monks get is meant to be like all rounding. It's not meant to be just like combat specific stuff.
so yeah, we'll be trying this out at level 5. Again, we've got a level to go. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the session. I know I was a bit scatterbrained today and a bit all over the place, but I do hope you enjoyed it.
good.
Any questions, comments, criticism? Feel free to hit me.
Just a quick
had a great
clarification. Will we be trying out both of the rulings of the
Yes.
benefit increase? Okay.
We'll be trying out both, and they are subject to change, so don't get too attached to them.
And
Yeah.
the movement one I don't get.
The move one you would not get. I'll clarify it specifically. Like I'll write it out.
Effectively, because like we're doing
Barbarian
it for
fighter,
martials
rogue.
only.
Barbarian fighter, rogue, monk.
You said it was because Rangers already get it, but I'm at a 30-foot movement speed. Am I not?
You have the 10 feet from Gloomstalker, and you also have Zephyr
Doing it
Strike.
every initiative, remember?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your movement's effectively 40 when your first turn, right? Like it's 40 for the
Yeah.
first turn. And again, if it comes to it and we're not feeling that that's enough, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, it's like that's the
Because you
whole
also gain at
problem
level
with
6,
this.
if I remember correct, you gain a slight movement speed increase. It's only +5, but it is still something. But yeah, if there's no other questions, I'm going to head out because it's nearly 2 a.m. And while I'm energetic and the anxiety has slightly gone, I do need to try and sleep tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
The only thing
Yeah,
I will
get
say is
sleep.
that, like, yeah, I do think that maybe there is actual, like, merit to testing it out with rangers. I'm not entirely sure, because, like, it's once again one of those things where, like,
We can test it out.
when I made the, when I, like, just formalized the rule, because I think I got the idea from Reddit or somewhere, the whole idea was, like, oh, how do you make martials more fun, right? And, like, extra movement is always nice to have. Especially if you're maneuvering on, like, battlefield. And thing is, then I started thinking of like, okay, so should paladins get this thing? Paladins could benefit from this a lot. A lot of paladins don't get a lot of fun movements. And then I started thinking of like, well, shit, like, does that mean
A lot of
half
paladin
casters
subclasses
should
actually get
it?
Misty Steps.
Interesting. But like, then you have the whole question of, okay, so if paladins get it, should other half casters get it? Because then you have to account for the fact that, oh, what other half casters are there? Oh, you know, artificers who really don't need this increase of movement.
Yeah, so we'll talk about it with the
rangers
ranger. We'll talk about it in regards to ranger when we reach next level, because I won't level you up at the start of the session. It'll be at the end, so we can discuss there and then. But I'm going to head to bed.
Yeah, because
Yeah, sorry?
Gloomstalkers don't get Misty Step. It's Horizon Walkers
don't.
and it's Wanderer?
Yes, I'm saying paladin subclass.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm going to head to bed. Good night.
Yes.
Have
Yeah.
a good day. Bye.